Hello there. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 944. This is episode number 944 of the Agostino Zinga show, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere in the depths of East London. How you doing? How you feeling? Great, amazing. How you doing? How are you feeling? How am I feeling? Not too bad, not too bad. Has been a crazy couple of days though, crazy few days. It feels like that Ukrainian girl getting, nanked the way she did on the bus. RIP to her. I think her name is Irina or Irina, one of those names. But please forgive me for not remembering. But it feels like that incident happened like 2 weeks ago, since all this Charlie Kirk stuff has popped off. So we're obviously going to talk about that, cover a little bit of that, because the story's now been concluded. The suspect, the person who the police believe most likely did it, has been arrested. I'm pretty sure they know he did it as well, because they were able to analyze his text messages and Discord messages, and a lot of people, internet sleuths online, had accurately kind of, picked out that was the guy based on his previous pictures and shit. Although some of these internet sleuths, some of these internet detectives, they did kind of mess up in the beginning, because if I'm not mistaken, they were pinning it on this trans person who did, don't get me wrong, this trans person they were pinning it on, who I think was a 4chan user who said some dicey stuff about Charlie Kirk in the past. He did kind of look a little bit like the guy that they arrested in terms of physical, in terms of his body shape and shit. He did kind of look similar to the person that they arrested, so I understand why they did it. But still, people have to be a bit more responsible. And the sad thing is about these situations, right? If you're falsely accused, right, or as Brendan says, if you're falsely confused, but if you're falsely accused of something like this by the internet, no one really comes back around to say sorry, No one kind of reaches back out to say, hey, I know we went after you. I know we probably spammed your place of employment. I know we kind of came through and probably harassed your family, your extended family, anybody you went to school with, your fucking former employees, your former schools. I know we probably really made your life a living hell these couple of days, but we're sorry. Our bad, we got it wrong. Nobody actually comes through and does that. Everyone just pretends like it's okay. So I hope those people who are falsely accused, the old guy, I don't think you need to owe him an apology. The old guy, the Charlie Kirk assassination, because it sounded like by all extent he was kind of like, he wanted to get arrested. I don't know if he had a death wish or something, but I did read somewhere where he was like, yeah, I did it. I shot Charlie Kirk. I take responsibility. He was like shouting. I don't know if he did it on purpose to act as a decoy for the person who shot Charlie Kirk, because he automatically assumed that person was maybe politically aligned. I don't know. But that person probably doesn't deserve an apology. But I think everyone else that got falsely accused online, this trans person that was accused, the kid that was walking around with an airsoft rifle, a couple of other people that got accused online, I hope they all get an apology. They probably won't. That's how the internet works, right? The internet just internets. But it would be nice if people who get hounded out by the public do get apologies, but that's not going to be that way in coming. Anyway, we got a lot of things to cover. It's a jam-packed show, jam-packed stream. I'm going to be rattling through as much as I can, because as soon as I stop this, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to head over to the gym for a little midnight session. I'm going to come back, shower, and then do the random show. So today's a bit of a jam-packed show for me today, and I've got a lot of stuff to do. So please forgive me if I start ranting through or rambling through. But I'm sure if you're listening to this, the audio side of things, you won't really care, because you just want some background listening experience in your earlobes, and you'll want me to shut the hell up now, and I will. I'll shut the hell up and continue on with the show. So the first thing that I saw online that I thought was worthy of conversation was this post that somebody posted on the Berghain community subreddit, the best subreddit out there, right? Maybe the only thing that comes close to it is the Fire and the Kids subreddit, or maybe Red Scare subreddit, or maybe Indie Head subreddit, right? These are some roads that I'm always kind of on, any number of times during the week. Well, somebody posted this really crazy, amazing throwback post of the Berghain Garden, also known as Garten, right? Garten, however you pronounce it in German. But this is the garden in Berghain. And you know what's funny about this, right? This picture's from 2007, and the caption says, Berghain 2007 v. the hot TikTok all-black raver. And obviously, it's kind of taking the piss, or kind of, talking about how nowadays, most of the people who listen to techno, most of the people who consider themselves ravers, are just people that wear all black. They wear all black, they wear New Rock boots, they wear double-decker boots, they wear fucking studs, they wear fucking chokers, harnesses, but there's little to no individuality. Whereas as you look here, this picture to probably taken from one of the first smartphones that had a decent camera, as you can tell from the grain of it, which is funny, right? Because everything's coming back around. Now all the kids are purposely, like I have done anyway, I've kind of leapt into the trend. I've even bought myself a Handycam, a Sony Handycam. All the kids now are going back. I've got a couple of digital cameras that I kind of always stock, but a couple of kids, or not, most of the kids now are going backwards in technology, and they're purposely purchasing digital cameras. I remember there was a time on this particular podcast and stream where I did say I would love to get to a place where Apple decides to bring back the iPod, but the conventional iPod with a tactile button. Like, I would love to return to the era of having an actual MP3 player that isn't connected to the internet. I don't need it to get to the internet. I don't need it to, I don't want to upload my status. I don't want to listen to music. And I feel like with my phone, because I have all my social media apps on it, I'm always distracted, you know? I don't get through as much music as I should do, especially being a DJ and shit. I need to listen to more music. I need to record dig. I need to really go in. But I don't, because my phone's always there. And the thing with me, I don't even have my notifications on. I know most of us don't, because I feel like most of us don't have the notifications on, but I know there's some sickos out there who have like ring notifications, text notificate, like they just have it all on. So you're just getting banners and pop-ups all the fucking time. I don't necessarily have that, and I still get distracted. And I think I've got pretty decent willpower. I think I've got pretty decent discipline, and even I get distracted, so I can't imagine other folks out there. Anyway, with that being said, people are now going back in time and decided to grab these, you know, digital cameras to take pictures with. But the funny thing about this picture is that everybody in this picture looks like a bit more of an individual. There's less of that kind of weird collective group dressing now, where if you're not wearing all black, you're wearing jorts. If you're not wearing jorts, you're wearing a tracksuit, some sort of sweat tracksuit. If you're not wearing a sweat tracksuit, you're wearing fucking a Nike tech suit. If you're not wearing a Nike tech suit, you're wearing really high-waisted trousers with the fucking wife beater tucked into it. Everyone just looks the same. There's really no individuality. And if you look at this picture, the individuality we're talking about are like varying hues. It's not even that far off. Like, some of these people you could say are wearing dark colors, but there's just a difference in terms of the shapes, the colors, the heights, the lengths, whatever, that just makes it look a little bit more unique than you would see if you went to a standard club nowadays, where everybody swears an individual, they swear they're an individual, they swear they're doing their own thing, but really when you look at them, they're not really doing their own thing. They're doing what everyone else is doing out there. That's really the sad thing. And I wonder though, if the music that we hear in the booths, if the music that we rave to on the dance floor, if the music that we fucking listen to in our headphones, if the music that we listen to when we go record digging, I wonder if that music and how bland it is, and the fact that we don't really have any summer anthems. Like, I don't know, my dear ravers out there, name me a summer anthem. Name me a summer anthem from any genre. Techno, house, disco, you know, whatever, drum and bass. I can't name a single song that I felt has been like the proper summer smash. And in previous years, I think that used to happen all the time. You'd have like several summer hits that were popping off, several. And nowadays, I can't think of one singular one that I've heard in all the clubs being played at all the times, or in all the clips I've kind of checked out online. I can't really name them. And I wonder if that has to do with, if that's a reflection of the dance floor. Like, everybody conforms, everybody's on some like get along gang thing, everyone looks the same, nobody's trying anymore. You know, I wonder if that's reflected in the music too. Like, you know, we're all rubbing off each other. Maybe if we come to a dance floor, challenge these DJs with our challenging outfits, challenge the artists that may be, you know, loitering in the crowd, they may respond and start making better art. Or maybe we're just living in weird times. We're living in weird times. So maybe that's why the art is also a bit weird. That could also be a part of what's going on right now. But either way, really cool picture. The funny thing about this picture too, I remembered, is that it made me remember that I have never actually been in a garden of Berghain, you know. Like, I've seen it. Like, I've gone to, because next to the garden of Berghain, there's a toilet. So I've looked at it. Like, I've gone to the toilet, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that toilet, which is on the ground floor near the garden, is the one that's reserved for Flinter. I think that's like, was that female, intersex, lesbian, trans, or something else, right? That Flinter acronym. I think it's reserved for them. So like, hey, if you need to shit and piss properly and not do drugs, because of, it's like a unwritten rule that toilet on the ground floor is for nothing else but to shit and piss. So if you want to shit and piss in peace, go there. And to be fair, those toilets are, if I'm not mistaken, they are a little bit bigger. They're a little bit more comfy. So I think they do purposely make those toilets downstairs to accommodate, you know, non-men, right? For lack of a better term. but I've never actually set foot in a garden. I've kind of gone to the toilet, or I've been queuing up, I've looked at it, but never gone into the garden. I wonder how many people are like that out there, like me, who've never actually been in the Berghain garden. Or do most people lie and say they have? Because, you know, number one, for a long time when I was going there, and, you know, not to be embarrassing, I didn't even know that place existed. Not gonna lie. I used to always go there in the winter anyway. I don't think the lineup for the garden was even there. And then when I did find out about it, I didn't really pay attention to it. The only really other rooms I've been is I think it's the Triple X room, which you sometimes hosting snacks. I've been to Saul. That's like a big room. That's like people do like performances and live performances at, and bands playing shit. It's really fucking cool. I really love the chairs in there, and obviously the other rooms. But I've never actually been in the garden. But what an amazing fucking view! What an amazing picture! Definitely a bit of a throwback. I love that everyone's talking, which happens in there anyway because they cover the phone camera. Everybody's just talking. You don't see anybody on their phone. I did see somebody on the Berghain community subreddit say that maybe the reason why they covered the phones in the first place might have been because of the advent of smartphones. Maybe back in the day there was no pictures allowed rule, but because smartphones were invented, the rule kind of got implemented to kind of protect people's privacy. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing to think about how like club conduct and behaviors and stuff changed as time progressed. Because the more digital we got, the more online we got, the more cameras we got. The people that are going to clubs like Berghain who want a bit of anonymity, who want to kind of be in the shadows, they don't always want to be on front sheet. That's a perfect thing for you. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely understand that, definitely get that. I would probably love to go again, although the season's ending. The season is ending soon. I actually really wanted to be in Berlin this weekend. Actually, I'm fucking gutted that I'm not in fucking Berlin this weekend, because in Berghain there is a Sound Metaphors 10th anniversary happening right now. 10th anniversary Sound Metaphors, legendary fucking Berlin record label and record store. They have a whole night happening right now, and I wanted to be there for this. I wanted to be there for this so fucking badly, but I'm really locked in with this fucking 30-day marathon that I've got going on, or this 31-day marathon I've got going on the Random Show channel. And I wanted to lock in as well for a month properly and see what results I could get from it. Then obviously go back to, and obviously analyze my results, go back to the drawing board, rinse and repeat type of thing. But this lineup is fucking killer. Who's playing at the moment? Channel 1 sound system in Berghain. You've got Snow Caveman playing Panorama Bar right now. You've got someone called Courtney Bailey playing back-to-back with Ann Toy in Seoul in about an hour's time. So really, no, well, in about 2 hours time, actually. So it's kind of popping up over there. I want to see, who's this Snow Caveman person? Let me quickly see who this... Oh, Sunday. Isn't that thing in New York? Is that what I'm thinking of? Snow Caveman. Okay, okay, he doesn't... you can't... Man, I would love to see what he's fucking posting. But unfortunately, he is... what's that thing called? He is a private profile. Let me actually go on a Sound Metaphors profile. Maybe they've posted some things about their artists and what they're doing there at the moment. Let's actually see what Sound Metaphors are doing. Have they got anything on their stories concerning what's going on today? What they've got here, there we go. They've got some posts there, but nothing crazy. Posters, which I also love as well, by the way. People love to do that over there. You don't really get much of it here in the UK. People posting flyers for their raves. It's not really a thing anymore, but I do like to see it. I'm not going to lie. I do actually have to see it. So I'm not mad at that in the slightest. You've got timetables here, but no clips on the inside of Wagwan, right? Not just yet. Oh, you got fucking, who's this? That fucking, yeah, of course that's fucking Jane Fitz. Fuck Jane Fitz. Fuck Jane Fitz forever. And you got, who's this person? Higher intelligence agency standing outside the club. Limited 10-year anniversary t-shirts available too if you want to purchase. Cool. Good to see. Good to fucking see. Good to fucking see. But I really want to go and check it out. Honestly, I really fucking want to go and check it out. I wish I was there, man. I wish I was there to experience all of it. I feel like everyone's going to be there. It's not going to be taking advantage of it. Like, I will be taking advantage of it. But I guess it is what it is. It is what it is. You get me? You know what also I mentioned, right? You know what also I mentioned? You know also what I mentioned? You know also what I mentioned? I had a dream the other day, man. I had a dream, and I'm really happy I had that dream. I had a dream that I was playing in Panorama Bar, and on as my opening song, I played this.
Candy shop.
I had a dream in Panorama Bar. My opening song was this.
Welcome to the candy shop.
Honestly, I had a dream. I played this song. The first couple of rows of like gays and queens gave me a bit of a weird look. Then as the verse kicked in, they realized that they could also get sexy and get crunk to it too. Right? And they started to really kind of feel themselves a little bit. I lost a couple of people who went to the bar. But the first couple of rows of gays and queens, they gave me a bit of a dirty look, but then they gave me a chance. And they started to like, get into it. They started to give me a chance to get into it. But I couldn't, in a dream, the second song didn't come up. So I think that's a message from God telling me to keep on keeping on, right? Keep fucking playing these live streams to one people. Keep fucking uploading these DJ mixes and getting 0 plays. Just keep going. Just keep going, because eventually you'll get booked at Berghain and you'll have the opportunity to do something that no one's probably done. I don't think there's a single person in the history of Berghain who's played 50 Cent Candy Shop. And I'm going to be in Panorama Bar and I'll play that as my opening song. But I can't for the life of me figure out what the second song should be. Because in a dream it didn't tell me. And that I think is the hardest part. Because imagine if I went into the Panorama Bar booth, right? Imagine I'm in the Panorama Bar booth. And I press Q and I go bum 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 bum.
Welcome to the candy shop.
Like, I know I could get them with that first one. It's a bit risky. It's a bit of a curveball, but I know I could get them. I know I could get them because the song Candy Shop has like a double entendre, Doesn't matter which way you swing, you can feel that. You can feel sexy. But the second song is so important, and the second song needs to immediately lift the mood. It needs to immediately go to house. It needs to immediately go to like house, like a proper like nice sexy house song. It could be Madonna, it could be Dua Lipa, it could be fucking, I don't know. But I need to figure that out, because that's the dream that I had. I had a dream I was in Panorama Bar. I was fucking there, standing up, putting my fucking headphones on next to my ear, chilling, doing my thing, getting myself ready, drinking a bit of water, giving the DJ that just finished a big hug, right? Drinking my little water, looking out to the fucking crowd and remembering how I used to be back in the day when I was there, right? Thinking, shit, man, now I'm finally here behind the booth. This was fucking weird, right? Trying to act like it's normal. And then the thing that's going to make that hit more is that when you usually transition with another DJ, not all the time, but usually if you're playing after another DJ, what you usually are meant to do is that you're usually meant to like mix in. You usually mix in, right? But what I would want to do, I'd want to bring the fucking crowd, the dance floor, to a complete standstill and really like punch in my fucking entrance and be like, no mix in, just completely lower the volume of the other DJ's track, wait a second. You hear the chatter, you hear some glasses clinking in the back, people making fucking, the bartenders angrily making espresso martinis, dashing the change at people's faces, Pick up the Panorama Bar fucking bartenders, legendarily rude, legendary hard to get to crack, but it is what it is. I'd let it go quiet. I'd let it go really quiet, and then I'd play, which would really make it hit more, but it's also way riskier. But I had that dream, honestly. And I don't usually have dreams like that anymore. I don't know why, but this dream really hit me. Usually, when I'm trying to do my whole little, manifestation thing, I'm talking to myself, I'm really in my vibe, you know what I mean? I'm really fucking giving it, right? I'm like, this is gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But this time I had a proper dream about it. Like, it hit me, I could hear myself like in the booth, like telling myself, okay, cool, no, go for it, don't worry, go for it, don't fucking worry. And I just press Q and I hear it, I hear it play and I see the faces. Because imagine if I played this, right, if you've ever been to Panorama Bar, you know what I mean. If you've ever been to Panorama Bar, the DJ booth is like right there and the crowd is right there. I'll actually show you a picture. Actually, let me see. Let me go to Studio Can't, whatever the fuck it's called, right? The people that designed the Berghain. And I'll show you what the Panorama Bar looks like. This is what Panorama Bar looks like. The people are right on top of you, right? They're right on top of you. That's the bar in Panorama Bar, right? That's the bar in Panorama Bar. And, that's the bar right at the back where people go to order their espresso martinis. There's a little benches on the side you can stand up on. And then that's the booth right there. You see that booth? Look at how close that booth is to the dance floor, brother. Look at how close it is. It's right there, the dance floor right there. So when you play, you get and it's also like surface level. There is no like platform.
You know what I mean? Nothing. You're looking at the people right in front of you. So you can tell if it's going good or badly. You know? That's basically what I want to say. You can tell viscerally if it's going good or bad. Also, vis-a-vis the bar. Because as you're facing the dance floor, you have a clear line of sight to the bar and the back of the room. So if you're playing and the crowd starts to disperse and you start to see more of the bar, that will be a good indication you're doing bad. But if you're playing and you can't see the bar, there's so many people grinding, sweating, rubbing shoulders, twerking, humping, skidding, locking, popping and locking, you're doing a good job. But I just know if I played that song, it fucking set it off in a good way. But then the second song is the most important. The second song after you play 50 Cent Candy Shop in Panorama Bar is important because you can't play another hip hop track. I can't play anything else with vocals. Has to be a straight fucking vibe, you know, beat only. It goes from vocals all the way to beat only, and it has to immediately lift the mood, and it has to make everybody go like, oh, because they're gonna get scared at first. Seeing a black man play 50 Cent in Panorama Bar, they're gonna get scared. They're gonna be like, oh no, is he gonna play hip hop the whole time? Is he gonna play hip hop the whole time? Is he gonna play hip hop the whole fucking time? No, please. They're gonna get really, really scared. Is he gonna play all this nigga music? No. But then you have to play the second song. And then once you play the second song, that's when they'll be like, oh, thank God. And in Panorama Bar, because Panorama Bar is the house room, it's also the place where I think you have to be more queer and gay friendly, conscious as well. Because I remember the times when I used to go to Panorama Bar, the best times were definitely when it was definitely full of the fucking gays, full of the queers, full of the dems. They make that place electric. They're all dressed in crazy outfits. The music is going off. People are hanging off their ceiling. People are making out everywhere. It's something out of a movie. But you have to get them on play. And they're very discerning. They're very particular. They're very picky. They're kind of snobby as well a little bit. And they're very cliquey. So you have to win them over. And the first song is kind of hetero. The first song, to be honest, the first song is like weirdly homophobic. You know? It's like a homophobia music, right? You don't want to play too much homophobia music. So you want to make sure, even though the first song it could be interpreted as homophobic music, even though it isn't, you get them with a second song, then they accept you, and then they kind of, they're gonna they're gonna be relaxed and chill in the knowledge you're gonna guide them through the night. That's the dream that I have. I had that dream, and I really, really flipping hope one freaking day that dream comes true. I am hoping that dream one day comes true. Hoping dreams come true is one thing. One person who isn't hoping a dream comes true is Yves Tumor. Yves Tumor, like, I'm surprised, right? I'm really surprised off of the bat. Yves Tumor had a fucking nightmare set opening up for Swedish House Mafia. Yves Tumor had a nightmare set opening up for Swedish House Mafia. Now, when I say that doesn't sound normal, does it really? What the fuck is Swedish House Mafia got to do with Yves Tumor? It's a strange connection anyway. But allegedly, he's not even playing his actual, like, prog rock, synth, electronic, whatever genre that he does. That's fucking incredible. It's super high level, right? He's made some amazing albums. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm more of a fan of his like early stuff. The recent albums weren't as good, but still, he's a little bit like Tame Impala. He's created his own genre in a way. Like his music, in my opinion, is his own little genre. Like I call it synth rock pop shit. I don't really know, but it's his own little thing. But incredible album. I think the recent one is called like Kerosene or something. The one that's got Kerosene as a track. There's the one where he's in smoke and he's like crawling like an ant. That one's fucking fire. Really fucking good artist, in my personal opinion. And weirdly enough, before this controversy, I had seen on Berghain, maybe it was for like, I forgot what label night it was, but I remember he played at Panorama Bar for a couple of times. I saw him in the listings and I was like, oh my God, man, I would have loved to have gone. I would have loved to have gone to Panorama Bar to see fucking Yves Tumor play in fucking Panorama Bar. Because I'd immediately imagine, because he's a black guy and there's not many people making that kind of song, music anyway, that black, it would be amazing because he'd attract all the like cool black people from Berlin who usually I don't really see because not everybody likes techno. So you'd see them all in Berghain. So that'd be amazing to kind of connect and see all these people that are kind of into the same stuff that I'm into. But we also, like, unfortunately, you know, we're in a kind of a bit of a niche. We're in our little kind of own little weird little bubble. But it'd be cool to meet other people that also like weirdo kind of music that I'm kind of into, right? Big up weirdo music. But I couldn't go. But now that I've seen this footage and this feedback and analysis of his performance, I'm now kind of happy that I didn't go. Because Jesus Christ, bro. Swedish House Mafia, Yves Tumor for some reason is DJing at these events. So it's not even like he's playing his own music to open up for Swedish House Mafia. He's DJing. Now, I would be okay. It would make sense if Yves Tumor was DJing and doing like EDM music, or if he just played prog rock in the beginning of the shows. Fuck it. Let's just set the show off with prog rock, because Swedish House Mafia are really going in a different direction in terms of their branding and messaging. Don't get me wrong, the music is still the music. It's really cheesy EDM, big room type of stuff. But you can see that Swedish House Mafia are going in a different direction when it comes to their presentation, their branding. They're trying to make themselves a little bit more eclectic. The music doesn't match up just yet, but I'm assuming we're going to see a very big shift in how they do music soon. Because I see their branding is kind of, you know, it's a bit more modern, minimalist, it's kind of cool. It's not as corny and lame. So they're definitely doing something. So maybe that's why they want Yves Tumor to kind of give them clout and cool points. Well, the fans were not happy. The fans were not happy about Yves Tumor's performance. But Yves Tumor himself wasn't happy, and he posted on his Instagram story the following. Big up the person on Reddit that posted this. He posted this on his fucking Instagram stories, and it made me laugh so fucking hard. Big up Yves Tumor.
If anybody's curious how the show went, I just got booed off stage for playing the best set of the night by a bunch of the corniest people I've ever seen in my fucking life. The city is truly hell on earth. I thought LA was bad.
So if you can't see this video, it looks like he's in his green room. It looks like he's in his green room or hotel room. And obviously he's kind of giving you a recap on how it went. And he said he got booed off. He got booed off. Usually this only happens to opening acts when it's like a really strange, like, opening act. Like, it happened to like, what's her fucking name? Happened to that artist, I forgot her name, rapper who was opening for Playboy Carti, but her music probably didn't match Carti's kind of vibe too much. But usually fans don't boo you off. They might leave and not want to watch you, but they're just going to let you play. They're not going to be that much of a cunt. So if they decide to boo you, that definitely is an indication that you are really, really, really fucking bad if you got fucking booed.
I thought Berlin was bad.
Now, I don't know what he's doing. He's throwing something. There's like a picture on the floor, I think of New York, I guess, and it's from the green room or something. And I don't know if he's throwing cake, a ball, a phone, but he's throwing something at the fucking picture every time he's talking. Obviously to emphasize that he hates New York now because he had a bad set.
Paris was bad. Berlin is definitely worse, but fuck.
Oh yeah, he said Berlin. Imagine how Berlin was. Imagine with Berlin people being the way they are about their music. Can you imagine how Berlin would have been? Can you imagine how Berlin would have been if you would have opened up playing what he opens up with? Like, fucking crazy. So I'm not surprised the Berlin crowd didn't have it either.
Not her. I'm not gonna take it out on her. She was a gift from the French. If you know, you know.
You know what's really funny too, by the way, about this, right? I didn't, like, going back to what I heard, going back to the Berghain or Panorama Bar, I remember when Yves Tumor was on that listings, I didn't really hear much about it. You know, there wasn't much negative conversation around how bad his set was. I wonder what, maybe he played what, Panorama Bar, but I didn't really hear a lot of, even on the Berghain community Reddit, I didn't really hear people complaining much about Yves Tumor's set. No one really said anything, so I wonder how it actually went, because people didn't turn anything on that Reddit at the time.
But like,
so he then posts a screenshot of his DMs, right? No, he screenshot of his notifications on Instagram, and it says here, screenshot, "These subhumans are already spamming my comments. That's how much they loved it. They had that much energy to search me. I truly love my stalkers." Somebody comments on one of his pictures, "That was disrespectful. Let's go, he's done. My favorite part was when he left. Somebody wrote in the comments, let's go, he's done. So they were probably outside somewhere and he's like, hey, to his friend, hey, I know you're in the toilets, come back. Let's go. He's finished, we can go back into the arena. Yo, that is so rude. It was so funny. It continues. We'll see another screenshot pop up now. Bear with me a second to Instagram story. Bada bada bing. And of course he decides to post the avatar of the people complaining. So I guess he's now saying the reason why people didn't like his set, not because he was bad opening DJ, opening act. The reason why people hated his set was because the people that are complaining are white and they're racist. Yves Tumor, come on, brother. Yves Tumor, come on, brother. You know I love you. I'm a big fan of your fucking music, honestly. I think I might have replayed that album, what is it, Heaven to a fucking Tortured Mind, a million fucking times. My favorite song on the album is Kerosene. I can fucking recite it word for fucking word, even though you're barely fucking audible in how you fucking sing and shit. Like, come on, brother. We know you love, we love you, but claiming everyone that hates you only hates you because they're racist, it's fucking crazy. That's some LSDXO shit. And then big up LSDXO. You know I love him as well. I'm a big fan of his. But he tried to run the same sort of shit when he was playing in Berghain. And I think he started playing like pop edits or pop tracks. And people were hating it, obviously, because it's Berghain, right? They're a little bit snobby and up their own arse to take things a bit too seriously. I get it. But they obviously don't like it. And he kept playing that sort of shit. And they kept giving him bad feedback. And then he just said, oh, it's because it's racist. I was like, come on, bro. You know, if anything, Berghain, in my opinion, as an outsider anyway, but I feel like they fetishize black people in there. Honestly, I feel like if you're gay or straight, you definitely get way more play. You definitely get way more play in Berghain than anywhere else because it's usually full of fucking Mundeles. It's full of the fucking Caucasians. So if you step in and you got a little bit of spice to your rice, you know what I mean? They're going to be down. So this idea that place is racist, especially because it's founded off of the back of the gay community, you know, maybe Berlin has this questionable relationship with race and stuff in different places, but I think the most tolerable place you can go to, in my opinion, aside from their very strict door policy, which I don't think is racist either, but the most, you know, egalitarian, the most welcoming place you can be is probably Berghain. And, you know, LSDXO's out here saying, oh yeah, they only hated me because I was gay. They only hated me because I'm black. They only hated me because I'm that. It's like, brother, you can't say that. They just hated it because it's not appropriate to what you're playing. And with this guy, I have to be honest and say, I think he was kind of set up though. Because why are you getting Yves Tumor to open for you as a DJ? That's the wrong choice. I think if you would have opened as his, you know, artist moniker, as his band, whatever, he had more chance to be successful. It still wouldn't work personally. Doesn't really make any sense, you know. It still wouldn't work. But I think he has more chance of being successful playing as, you know, his artist moniker, playing with a guitar, singing into a microphone, than he has playing his favorite tracks as a DJ. It's not going to work, man. Like, I don't see any overlap between Yves Tumor and fucking Swedish House Mafia fans. Zero. They don't even wear the same clothes. Like, I don't see it. Like, whoever booked him, his booker and his agent also did him dirty. Whoever Yves Tumor's booking agent is, they're the ones that really fucked him over because he had no business, in my personal opinion, he has no fucking business playing, you know, as an opener for fucking Swedish House Mafia. That was fucking the wrong decision. Well, it got worse because I'm sure you're wondering, Agostino, surely it can't be that bad, right? I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, oh, it's not that bad. You're overstating it. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Remember, right? Remember in your mind, or try to at least picture in your mind, right? Or at least kind of hum it to yourself, right? Try and hum it to yourself. Try and picture it in your mind. Do fucking something. Do fucking something out there and try to picture what fucking Swedish House Mafia music sounds like, right? Try and fucking picture what it sounds like. Then try and picture this type of music fitted into it. Whoa, you can see, look, you see the back. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to stop it, but you see the back of him. Look at the back, right? You can see a whole row of what looks like girls walking out. You can see them walking to the right. Look at the back. Look at the back of him, right? You'll see these silhouettes that look like girls walking that way, walking to the right. Oh my God. And you know what as well? I know he's sinking. I know he's drowning because he's doing that thing that DJs do when you're drowning, when you're kind of struggling to find the next tune. You probably haven't prepared. You're regretting not preparing. You're doubting yourself. You're overthinking things when you're just staring at the fucking monitor. You're staring at the monitor, hoping something jumps up at you, a song choice for you to play. You just wait. You're sweating. Because I've been there plenty of times where you don't prepare. I usually always prepare, but there was some times, 1 or 2 times where I kind of, took the piss, walked in thinking I was going to just do whatever. And then you get there, you're like, oh shit, And you start sweating. You just got that look where you're just staring at the fucking screen thinking, please song, jump out at me and help me. Jump and help me. But imagine that type of music being played before you listen to a Swedish House Mafia song or Swedish House Mafia set. It makes no fucking sense. Such a bizarre choice. And I remember, right? Who did I remember it for? I remember somebody told me once, right? Who was it? Who told me this? Who fucking told me this? No, sorry. Steezy. Big up Steezy. There's a YouTuber called Steezy, right? And I remember he was talking about opening DJs. That's it, yeah. He's got a recent video where he speaks about opening DJs and he basically plays a clip of some guy being like, oh, if you're an opener, don't play 128 BPM music. Don't do this, don't do that. And Steezy kind of didn't really get it. He was like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. That's a given. Why do people say these type of things? And I disagree because I'm thinking, you know what? Yes, that guy on that video was being a bit snarky and being a bit of a cunt. But there is more people out there that do what Yves Tumor done than the people that just, use their common sense. Because the general rule is if you're opening for anybody, doesn't matter who it is, you usually just go in soft if you're opening for somebody. So if you're opening for a big DJ and you've got like the opening set from like 9 to 12, you don't go super hard. You're trying to prepare, whatever, the fans, whoever's there, for the person that's coming after you, who's the main star. Usually as well as a kind of, as a given, you don't play any of their music, right? You kind of want them to play their own music, but you play music that's probably within their kind of, ecosystem, that's within their fucking range, whatever it may be, within their fucking taste, within their genre. So the fans can get kind of hyped on what's to come. But there are a lot of DJs that don't do that. But I've noticed it's usually DJs who are a little bit more successful, who are maybe have a little bit more of a higher rep. Like, imagine if you're a DJ who probably shouldn't be opening for anybody, right? You should be trying to grind and get your name out there and get more like big sets and big slots. But you're doing what needs to be done to get yourself out there. Those type of DJs already don't feel like they belong there. They feel like they're better than that level of opening. So they sometimes develop a bit of an ego and pride. They're like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care. And they'll play what they want to play as a kind of a protest and as a way to maybe show the promoter that, yeah, look, I'm really good at what I do. But then you're not doing what you should be doing at the job. What the job is to open for the big act. But people don't like to do that for some reason. So the weird thing is, I think the better thing to do if you're going to try and hire an opening DJ is to hire a DJ that isn't that well known. Like a lower tier, like notoriety DJ. Not skill-wise, but notoriety or fame. Because that person is more willing or more able to abide by the rules or abide by the parameters and be like, yes, I'm going to play music that fits within this artist kind of area, genre. I'm not going to go too hard. I'm not going to go too fast. I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm not going to go too loud. And I'm going to prime the audience for this main star to come in. But nowadays, promoters probably are really struggling to make sure they sell tickets. So now what they're doing is that they're booking bigger people to open in the hopes that that opener can bring people in. Before in the past, openers were a chance for the band to put on some local acts. Like if you're a big band and you're playing in a fucking small city, whatever, or big city, you would pick an opener that's local from that city to obviously, maybe fill up the crowd, but also to give that local band or artist a chance to get famous, to blow. But nowadays, because people aren't selling tickets and things are fucking struggling all over the place, people are now using bigger artists to play as an opener in the hopes that they can also sell tickets. So it's just a ticket game, really, which is effectively ruining the enjoyment for the fans. Because I heard a lot of people say that Swedish House Mafia set or gig was not good. Now I'm wondering, was it not good because it wasn't good, or was it not good because Yves Tumor set a bad precedent? He started off a bit shaky, so it was hard for them to kind of pick it up because the room was flat and dead, and because other people left and then they came back later. Do you know what I mean? So the opening gig is really important. It doesn't look like it. It looks like fucking graveyard work or graveyard shift work. It looks fucking horrendous. You're usually playing to an empty fucking room. Imagine how it is in an arena, right? Imagine playing in an arena. Imagine playing in an arena as an opener, as a DJ. You're on stage by your fucking self. It's just you and the sound engineers and a couple of stands standing right in front of the fucking gate who have probably got their back to you, right? Especially nowadays, these Gen Z kids, they're probably playing fucking, you know, they probably got a retro Game Boy that they're playing and they're sitting with their back towards you, or they've got headphones or listen to a podcast as you're playing. But if you do it well, you can play a big part in people's listening experience and enjoyment of that fucking night. Because obviously, clearly, Yves Tumor did not do that for people. Yves Tumor did not do that for people. Well, he didn't get it. So he decided to post a bunch of screenshots of people and fans getting at him in the comments. And he decided to kind of fire back. So I did screen record some of this. I'm sure some of it's been deleted already because, you know, I think he deleted a couple of stories. But I did screenshot a couple of stuff that he was saying on his fucking Instagram. So this is the Instagram story. He posted a flyer tonight at fucking, what is it? Tonight, Yves Tumor. Lucas Abat also played. Wow, okay, he opened too. Oh, that's why they said he was really, okay, now I get it. I heard people say the first and second DJ were horrible. You see? So they obviously booked Lucas Abat and Yves Tumor as a way to try and get people to come. Because, you know, they've got their own little, Lucas Abat's got his own fandom. Yves Tumor is a very reputable and well-known artist, and they want people to come in and obviously fill up the seats, but it didn't happen. So he posts a flyer, then he posts a comment section of people saying, you know, the mean things to him, as you saw earlier. Then he posts the screenshots of the pit people. Then he continues. He continues posting screenshot. This is a DM he received from somebody. They say, "You fucking sucked, and I love your music. Really unfortunate," which I think is real and honest and true. You fucking suck, and I actually like your music. He posts a screenshot of a DM he received where somebody said, "I've had better DJs perform in my backyard. You should never step inside of a New York venue ever again. That was a disgrace. All of us listening will never get those 45 minutes of pain and suffering back." Yo, big up Ricky Pictures for the super chat. Big up Ricky Pictures for the super chat. Scaring the hose. Exactly. Scaring the hose. Actually, weirdly enough, they probably booked Lucas Abat to attract some of the hoes. And then Yves Tumor did his best, did his best effort to scare the hoes. Brilliant combo, isn't it? Brilliant back-to-back combo. Lucas Abat attracts the hoes. Yves Tumor scares the hoes. Love it. And then Yves Tumor quote tweeted or put a little caption over that DM and didn't hide the person's name, by the way. I love that. Didn't hide the person's name. It said, "Huge compliment, especially coming from someone with not a small penis, no offense, but also no profile pic, or as I like to call them, submans or incels for short," right? So he's calling everyone that doesn't like his scent incel. If you don't like Yves Tumor, you're an incel, you're a racist. Somebody posted a fucking voice note. I want to hear this voice note. Whoever this person was, right? Whoever you are that DM'd Yves Tumor, please send me that fucking voice note. I want to hear it. But they DM'd Yves Tumor and said, "I agree on everything. After taking photos of the hello for almost 4 years, I can say that most of the people in the crowd are just bad. Even my camera picked up the energy last night. I don't know if I even want to post the pictures from the crowd." Ah, okay. This person's glazing him. This person's glazing. "You fucking sucked and I love your music. Really unfortunate." He posts a screenshot. Tony. Somebody says, "I was in a crowd. It was all white people. Keep doing your thing." So it's a mix. Let me fast forward a little bit here. He posts another screenshot of somebody saying something. I don't know who. Somebody DM'd the Swedish House Mafia Instagram account. I don't know who you got opening, but they are some hot ass. So someone's DM Swedish House Mafia directly, and they're posting some of the screenshots too. Another person, who's this? Alexander Wesley says, "New York Astor Arena, cool venue, very steep stage, center, sold out in 30 minutes. I'm sorry that was fucked up. You killed it. Me and the guys loved it. Okay, so that's the agent, but you can't post that as support. Come on, Yves Tumor. You can't be bragging that your agent loved it. Come on, man. Come on. You can't be bragging that your agent loved it. Of course your agent loved it. Come on. Let's fast forward a bit there. You see that? You see that? Let me actually see, actually. Where is it? Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens. Let me actually check the Instagram location and see if we can get it. Let me go Ashe. Was it Ashe Arthur? Ashe Arthur? Is that what it's called again? Arthur Ashe. Sorry. Arthur Ashe Stadium. Let's go Instagram location and see if we can find it. And then I want to see if somebody posted a video clip of what it looked like. Because so far, the other pics I've seen of it were horrendous. Absolutely horrendous of his set. There we go. Arthur Ashe. So yeah, the US Open was there. According to the pictures I got on the screen. The US Open took place there too. So yeah, interesting arena. So let's check some of these videos. I want to see what the Swedish House Mafia did actually in there. And I'm not gonna lie, right? This sounds like the easiest opening gig to do. These are like big room EDM artists, legendary in their field. The music isn't not for me personally, but I think a competent DJ could kill this easy. It's not that difficult to do, essentially. It's really not that difficult to play like warm-up EDM music for a group of an arena full of people who want to hear Swedish House Mafia. It's not that difficult. So the fact that Yves Tumor messed it up says more about him, really. 20,000 people singing along to Don't You Worry Child. Come on, man. There's nothing about Yves Tumor that is like that song, man. Nothing about Yves Tumor screams, Don't You Worry Child. He's got no song in his discography that even comes close to those bangers. Like, again, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but they've got undeniable bangers. Finally, what is it? Moth to a Flame, Greyhound, Wait So Long, Heaven Takes You Home. Come on, brother. Red Light. Like, does Yves Tumor have a single record that has the amount of plays that those records probably have, or fucking awards and shit? It's a bad choice for opener. So as much as I want to rag on Yves Tumor, I don't think it's his fault. He should have never been booked to open for fucking Swedish House Mafia as a fucking, as an opener. It makes no sense. Like, I don't know. He's a rock star in a conventional sense. They are EDM superstars. It doesn't make any sense, really. But hey, what do I know? More pictures there. There's people at the stadium, I think, right? I don't know why his sounds isn't playing for some reason, but it doesn't matter. Let's continue. Cool. Let's continue. More pictures of people in there. We got any more opening things? No more opening pictures, but yeah, the stadium looked pretty cool though. The production looks really fucking cool. I like how at the top where the ring is, they've got those like screens, probably projecting it onto a. I think it's probably a cloth or some sort of material around that little circle. That's really fucking cool. I love how they did that. Because the pictures also look a bit grainy. They look a little bit overexposed and shit, or contrasty. That's a really cool idea. Oh, look at that! Look at that! It looks like a fire pit in the middle there, doesn't it? Bloody hell, man. Live shows now, they're not fucking playing when it comes to the live shows. I don't know why I can't hear people's sets there, but hey, why can't I hear that? I don't know. Maybe they turned it off. Another video. Any more videos here? Nope. Comments. I think I've seen them do this before, by the way. This is really cool, though. I've seen them do this before. I think they have the DJ booth set up in a circle. I quite like that because there's obviously 3 of them in a group. So they kind of all rotate around. So I kind of like how they do that. They've got a the DJ booth set up in this fucking circle. It's such a sick design. Or stage production shit. So anyway, you get the gist. You get the gist of what happened there. Let me see some more stuff. I think that might be it for now. And then we're going to quickly check out Yves Tumor's Instagram one last time to see while going there. Maybe, did he leave some of the reviews up? Not just sure if he left some of the reviews up on there. But let's see, Yves Tumor. Let's see if his Instagram, if he left some of the reviews up on his Instagram or if he deleted them. I think he posted let his picture. But let's go through his stories. Any update on that? Hope this helps. Honesty is the best policy. Cool. Let's go through. Let's see. 386. Okay, cool. He's unlike. Okay, are there comments there? Okay, cool. He's got comments open on one post. It looks like. Okay, there he goes. You have a great career ahead of you if you're blind and deaf. They're coming after him. All the Swedish House Mafia fans. The Swedish House Mafia fans are on his ass. You have a great career if you're blind and deaf. What's happened? I'm so confused. Why are you getting so much hate right now, for real? The fuck? Someone says he opened for Swedish House Mafia and that trash that listens to EDM didn't like it. That's it. You're not Kanye, someone says. If you actually listen to Yves Tumor music, you know the vibe. Such a great artist. I don't think it was the right person to open for Swedish House Mafia, but if we can take away the fact that the man is talented, creates dope house sounds. Yeah, I agree with that one. Respectfully, never run a set again. Not even a real artist. Cannot handle criticism and blames it on racism. Never play anything anywhere ever again. Come back. I was just starting to enjoy it. Okay, I listened to his Spotify. It's pretty good. I just think Yves needs to work on his DJ set. Exactly. Really and truly, like, as somebody as talented as him as a DJ, or so as an artist, DJing should be really easy. It's really strange that he seems to find it hard, or maybe he doesn't find it hard. He just wants to play what he wants to play, which I think comes from the confidence of being a proper artist. Because he's a proper artist, he doesn't feel like he should be playing to the crowd. But I think when you're an opener, you're in the customer service business. You're in there to kind of service the crowd and kind of warm up their night. You're not there for yourself, so which is obviously counterintuitive to being an artist where you're kind of performing your own shit. I can confirm that all the alcohol in the entire stadium sold out after that set. The things I could do to hear you live. This is the reaction that I'm hearing, bruh. I'm watching your horrible music ruin the Swedish House Mafia concert. Please give up this craft. Jesus Christ. Is this the same person that performed as an opener for Swedish House Mafia? Because I'm looking at the tracks online and it doesn't sound like the garbage that was played there. Who performed there? Exactly. The people are confused. So what's going on? Is Yves Tumor the real you? Or is that DJ set the real you? Another one. Boo. LMFAO, you literally did this for this right here. I'm laughing. This had to be a stunk. This had been stunk. There is no way that was a real DJ set. I've been DJing for 28 years. I know what it sounds like. But then unfortunately, my friend, DJ LO official, the unfortunate nature of the industry is this. Let's say we believe you and you have been DJing for 28 years. I don't think you've been DJing 28 years trying to make it. You've probably been DJing 28 years learning, right? But let's say you've been trying to make it for 28 years. The really unfortunate part of the industry is this, DJ LO official. You've been DJing for 28 years, but Yves Tumor hasn't DJed at all for that long, and look where he's playing. Look at the sets, look at the platforms, look at the places, look at the venues that he's playing at. And he's a garbage DJ. Garbage. That's a problem. Because nowadays people want to sell. They want to sell tickets. They don't really want someone on to. So what they should have done, Swedish House Mafia, is got someone that complements their sound. Either held an open contest or something, right? or selected somebody on SoundCloud who made a really good edit. Probably that person could DJ also, and had them play for them. And they would have killed it. Instead, they picked somebody who they thought they could sell good tickets off the back of, and look what happened. It fucking fucked it. Love the set, someone says here. This must be the worst set in history. I've never seen a response for this like this from people. After seeing this opening performance, I had to come see what your page is about. Music ain't for you, bud. Maybe retail or something. Bro cannot handle criticism from the EDM community. Don't listen to the bullies. They're just projecting. The least cool people found out about Yves Tumor, look of cornball. Bro out here blaming the crowd when you can't read what you play, then throwing a fit after. Deleted the other post with all the honest feedback from your booed off performance last night. Really mature. Oh, so there was another post. There was another post that he deleted. So this is a recent post that he uploaded or that he left on there. Ah, okay. So he must have deleted or turned off the comments on the other post, which is why people are coming in heavy on this one. I can still hear the high-pitched frequency this morning. That was torture, especially getting butt hurt at the end of getting taken out the set. Oh yeah, that was the thing, by the way, to make this story even worse. His set got cut short. The people were booing so much, they cut his set short, which is usually the worst review you can get as a DJ, right? You've got a set. It's 2 hours long, 1 hour long, and someone cuts it short because you're like killing the crowd. You're scaring the hoes, as fucking Ricky Pitcher said, so badly that they cut your set early. That's fucking brutal. That's fucking brutal. That's fucking brutal. Some more here. Breaking news: Swedish House Mafia had a tumor removed during their performance at Arthur Ashe Stadium. All 3 members survived. Thankfully, audience members only suffered temporary hearing damage from the brash frequencies and the complete lack of awareness. Coming from somebody who always applauded by others for my music taste, you're one of my favorite artists of all time. I don't know any other artist with this creativity and eccentricity. You were the star of that show. I'm sorry that others didn't see it that way. Please never do that shit again. White noise isn't music. They hated it, bro. To play devil's advocate, I think he went a little too experimental for the crowd, which was more mainstream, big room. That's a negative reaction. But yeah, probably this wasn't my cup of tea. And I can feel his pain. I remember once, I think that was my most highest DJ gig ever, still to date. I went and played a DJ set at this hostel. There's a hostel in like central London that I played at, right? And I should have known, but I was dumb. I should have actually went there myself and kind of scoped the environment, see what it's like. Maybe gone to a rave on the previous night to kind of get a lay of the land. But I unfortunately listened to the fucking owner, the manager, sorry. And I don't think you should ever listen to managers. Go there yourself because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right? But I listened to the manager and he said, yeah, just come and play house. And I think I quoted him. He didn't know what price to charge me, so I said 300 quid. And he just gave it to me, right? Like I was like, and I probably didn't even deserve that 300 quid. But it was the highest gig I've ever played, so I felt even more responsible to play a good set because I was getting paid so quote unquote much. I pulled up to this fucking hostel to go play. They had it's a youth hostel that also had a bar, type of vibe. I went to go play my house set. I brought with me Omar S, Kerry Chandler songs, Mr. Fingers, house music. And obviously, as I started playing, the crowd just was not having it. And they kept quoting all these people to play. Like, all these EDM people basically. And I couldn't work it out. And then halfway through I worked out, I was like, oh, they mean like house, EDM house. Like that type of big room house. Not what I'm playing now. They mean like Mal P type of shit. And I was playing like Chicago house and it went so badly. Like I think that was a set I got taken off early. I think I meant to play for 4 hours. I only played for 2. And I got told to go home. And I still got paid though, luckily. I still got paid. They probably shouldn't have paid me, but I still got paid. But I remember going back home feeling really yucky that I took that money. I felt disgusting. I was like, Jesus Christ. I took their 300 quid and I played one of the worst sets I've ever played in my entire life. All because I didn't really understand where I was going. I kind of listened, plainly to the manager. I didn't do my own research and shit. I kind of fucked up. But honestly, there's nothing. The only thing worse, I think, than playing the incorrect set in a particular room is probably going to going to your first day at work in a fucking suit and you're not meant to be in a suit, that type of thing. Or turning up to school. Remember in school when there was non-school uniform day? The only thing worse and more embarrassing than playing a bad set in a club because you didn't really catch the vibe of the room is like going to school and forgetting it's non-school uniform day and having a uniform, you know, and you being the only kid in your uniform, and like, you know, like honestly, fucking hated it. It continues. Take that disrespectful story off about NYC. Everyone in their comments was terrible taste in music. What the fuck are these comments? You disrespected the house music culture last night. I hope you don't play in NY anymore. A bunch of mayonnaise babies are pressed. I'm secretly hoping the speakers fall on you while you're forced to listen to your set. Wow, that's a bit aggressive, isn't it? I secretly hoping the speakers fall on you. Sell all your equipment. You DJ like a tumor. Sucks so bad I actually had to look it up and make sure it wasn't a troll. No wonder Berlin, LA, and everywhere else he flops. You fell off. Also, the way you take criticism is sad. God damn it, man. They were not happy. And obviously the comments as well on the Reddit post said the same sort of thing as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? One of the only times I've seen an artist get booted was when I saw the dude from Korn doing a solo jazzy thing. It wasn't Jonathan Davis who got booed, rather the opener who did some dude playing some weird stuff. The guy finished his set, bowed and walked off the stage. Immediately walked right back on because he was the one led the musicians. Fucking hell. Anecdotal, but the only time I saw Yves Tumor live was at Bonnaroo, and he spent the set yelling at the photographers and video people saying they could do better pictures than them. Shit. Okay, so he's a bit of a diva live then, isn't it? I mean, I've caught some shows where the opener seemed out of place genre-wise, though in my experience they either won the crowd over if they were unfamiliar, the crowd was mostly familiar and dug it, or the crowd was really respectful and even if they didn't vibe with it. Exactly, that's what I've seen too. I've seen people not vibe with an opening person play, but you know, it is what it is. To have a crowd actively boo the opener, surely they mustn't have given an outright bad set performance or the crowd just sucked. Yeah, this was an intentional move from Yves. I don't know if it was to get attention online, but this is what you play in the basement show, not opening for Swedish House Mafia. Okay, is there a post here? Let's see. Swedish House Mafia opener NYC was not well received. Let's see here. Okay. Fucking hell, listen to this. Honestly, Yves Tumor is fucking psychotic. This is what he played to open for Swedish House Mafia. If you're opening for Blade, right? If you're opening for Blade, I get it. If you're opening for fucking Young Lean, I get it. If you're opening for Fake Mink, right? I get it. This type of shit would work. Honestly, this would work. But opening for Swedish House Mafia, this is not gonna rock, bro. By the way, what a great way to make money, innit? What a great way to make money. He doesn't look like he gives a single fuck. And remember, right? This Ashy Arena place, right? Look at it. Let's go back to the Instagram stories. This Ashy Arena place, right? What's it called? Ashy. No, Alpha Ashy, right? This Alpha Ashy Arena. If you remember, when we checked it out in the stadiums here on the recent list, right? Look at how it looks. Like, that's a big room, but it's also, he's right in the middle. So, right, so that's the middle of the stage. He's right there. He can see a 360 view of that stadium. So he can tell that no one's liking it. And he's still just playing what he's playing. Do you know the balls? Do you know how big your balls have to be to play in a stadium like that, right? Look with all those people around you and not give a flying fuck. They're walking away. They clearly look bored. They're making faces. They may be putting a middle finger up at you. They're mouthing things. And he doesn't give a fuck. That's kind of goals. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of goals. That's kind of goals. He really doesn't care. He's just playing this. Wow, look at the caption. When the opener for Swedish House Mafia was so bad the crowd cheered when the sound guy cut the music. That was the loudest cheer the entire set. was when they cut his music. Ouch. He literally scaring the hoes. You hear that girl scream? He's literally scaring the hoes. You hear that girl scream? She literally ran away. Honestly, what a good way to make money, man. What a good way to make money. What a good way to make money, man. Fuck. You just don't give a fuck, bro. You just turn up, and also it gives you more attention. You go viral a bit. Maybe that bumps up your salary. Oh, I couldn't take it personally. I don't have the inner strength. I don't have the lack of cringe and shame to do that. I would cave and play some good music. You know, I'd cave. Okay, here you go. Here's some EDM. Fuck. Honestly, what a fucking king. What a fucking king. The comments. Out of all the hundreds and thousands of festivals I've attended, I've never seen something like this. People in the crowd covering their ears because it was painful and then booing until the DJ finally left. Genuine. What the fuck is this? Is this what people think EDM sounds like? Sounds actually great. Who is this? Anyone know who? Was that technical difficulties or his music? I thought he was trolling for the first few minutes, then he just kept going. That's the good troll though. Heard it was Travis Scott. Genius, says Hudmo. Should have put me on a Spotify crossfade. At first I thought, well, that's rude, and then I turned the volume on. Yeah, exactly. That Australian person. I think this is it for me. I've tried to stay positive about the DJ scene and culture over the last few years, but this generally has made me upset. How on earth did this guy have the pleasure and privilege to open for Swedish? How? Such a shame and disrespect for the art. That's the problem though. Like, the problem is twofold. The problem is that Swedish House Mafia, despite them selling as many records as they've sold, being a legendary fucking group, act, whatever they are, right? They are still worried that they can't sell tickets. We live in an era where Swedish House Mafia have to pad up their lineup. Because really and truly, I think they don't even need the opener. They don't need an opener. They should just have their fucking, songs that kind of sound similar to them playlists on Spotify, play it through the speakers. They don't need to have an opener, in my personal opinion. But they have an opener because even Swedish House Mafia can't guarantee that they'll sell enough tickets to make this fucking venture, this tour fucking, beneficial, whatever it may be called, right? So they have to fill up the lineup. But then they don't put people on who can play what they are about. So they fill it up with people who they think will also sell tickets or will also kind of attract a crowd. So that's why they book an Yves Tumor. Be like, okay, cool, you come through. But then obviously he can't DJ. He's obviously not good at it, or he doesn't have to read a room, whatever it may be, and it falls flat. So it's a twofold problem. They don't really, nowadays in the industry too, there's no such thing as like booking talent, no one does that anymore. People book based on clout. They book based on followers, engagement. No one books based on ability anymore. So unfortunately, the girl or guy, the date or them who could have done this, unless they got good numbers somewhere, no one gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. He's just playing hard techno. Lols. I was prepared to say no to the opening act should be treated poorly, but that was something else. I say that as somebody that loves lots of hard and experimental music, up-tempo, hard techno, hard style, hardcore. That just was not it for the crowd at all. What the heck is this? Someone says. Oh, truly the worst experience I've ever had. And I'm always the first to say that I can respect halfway decent music. He was literally trolling us, the crowd. Kept turning the sound up to the point that it was painful and then stopping the music. then try doing a SpongeBob call and repeat more than half a dozen times. Dude crashed the fuck out after he was told to get off the stage because he decided to go full bare ass cheeks out all over the... Really? He mooned people. He got bare ass cheeks on the fucking new CDJs. What? Okay. Fair play. Fair fucking play. Fair fucking play. Big up Yves Tumor. Big up Blood Clot Yves Tumor. You love to see it. You love to see it. You love to see it. Okay, moving on. Big up the stream chat, actually. Big up on 10 toes. Why the fuck is it fuck Jane Fitz? Need that backstory. It's not that deep, the backstory. But a long time ago, during the pandemic, give you a bit of background. During the pandemic, a group called Disc Woman, a DJ collective, more so like a booking agency, that was basically more so geared around promoting POC, people of color, and women and stuff. They had an agency, and during COVID, when all the clubs closed down, they put out a post basically saying, hey, all of our DJs have lost all their gigs. They don't have any money and shit. So if you want to donate to kind of help them fucking keep their head above water, here's a link. They posted a link, and, at the time, we were all suffering. Some of us were losing our jobs. Some of us were furloughed. Some of us were locked down. So, we were all kind of we were all fucking tense and maybe on high alert. So some people didn't react well to that post. They thought, who the fuck needs a DJ? Who the fuck cares, right? But then Jane Fitz went out of her way to kind of call the guys like, I think she took a screenshot of that post from Disc Woman, put it on her Instagram, and be like, oh, a disgrace. These people are a disgrace. They're a disgrace. Da, 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 da. And I don't know why, but in that moment when I read it like a dog whistle. I didn't read it like she just criticizing them for asking for money. I read it like she was criticizing them because it was a DJ collective or a booking agency that was geared around promoting POC people, that she was kind of saying, kind of talking bad about the fact that it was a DJ booking platform that was representing, let's say, black and brown people, right? So I kind of took it like a dog whistle, and it just came across rude to me. It came across a bit rude. So I spoke about it on my pod, right? Spoke about it just on my pod. Covered it like I usually cover most things. Then when I posted about it, very soon after, I got hit with tons of like copyright claims, to the point where my channel nearly got completely taken away from me, like completely deleted. Like I had fucking 3 copyright strikes and shit. I had all these open stuff, all these DMCA things. One person, because I used a picture of Jane Fitz. I found a picture on Google Images, like what everyone does online, right? Everyone on YouTube will find an image on Google Images to use for their thumbnail. I found a picture of her on a thumbnail, and then the person who allegedly took the picture DM'd me and was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna this, I'm gonna that. So it felt like, again, I'm not sure if it's true, but it felt like she kind of riled up her fan base of people to kind of come at me because I kind of commented on what she said. And again, I wasn't rude about it. I just commented that kind of sucked. It kind of sounded like a dog whistle, and she didn't like it, and she got people to kind of go out my channel. So since then, it's been fuck Jane Fitz, because, we all have our opinions, but I don't think you need to kind of try and take somebody's quote unquote channel away because you disagree. It would be different if I was rude and said something bad. I didn't. I just merely covered what she talked about, which was the Disc Woman agency. I said I didn't like the post, and it kind of sounded like she was being, a little bit racist or whatever it may be. She didn't like that, and she sent all her fans to kind of come attack me and say something on my channel, and I nearly got my channel taken away. And obviously, I had this channel for more than a decade, so I didn't really like that. I didn't take that too well. And I decided to crash out a little bit and say some mean stuff back. And it's been fuck Jane Fitz forever. It will be fuck Jane Fitz forever. And I'm more than sure, saying fuck Jane Fitz aloud, because she's a legend and she's well regarded and she's got a lot of a good reputation in the scene. People seem to love her. I'm sure saying fuck Jane Fitz, fuck fucking Jigglypuff DJ woman, that most likely it's going to harm me in the future. It's going to harm my kind of progression in the DJ scene. It might close some doors, but I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? You don't try and take somebody's fucking channel away because you disagree with what they said. So I'm willing to die on that hill. It's fuck Jane Fitz forever. Fuck Jane Fitz forever. Anytime I see her on a DJ booking, I'm never going to that club. If I see her in a fucking lineup, I'm not going. Even somebody I want to see is there, I'm not fucking going. It's fuck Jane Fitz forever. Fuck Jane Fitz forever. Honestly. She sucks anyway. She should probably be starting a family somewhere. She's too old to be DJing anyway. So fuck her. Fuck her, fuck her, fuck her. Anyway, continuing on. Let's talk. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about big up, was that Chester Reed? Off to see Jane Fitz next week. Really don't think she's racist, like you sound paranoid. Maybe I sound paranoid. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I'm open to that. I'm open that I could be a race. I could be paranoid. I'm open that I could be fucking triggered. I could be a woke lefty, soft soy boy guy, whatever. I'm open to all those things. I'm just saying, I don't think me giving my opinion on what you post is it requires necessary action of trying to get your people to brigade and kind of attack my channel and report it, copyright strike stuff. That's what I'm saying. I could be completely wrong in my assessment of what she said about this woman, but I don't think my assessment of what she said about this woman should warrant me having my channel deleted, for false copyright strikes. I don't think that's fair. That's all I'm saying. So until that's cleared up, which is never going to be cleared up, it's fuck Jane Fitz forever. That one infraction. And she could say fuck me as well, which is all good. We should all be allowed to say fuck each other, right? It should be a fuck each other fucking tennis match. She could say fuck me, I could say fuck her, but it's, for my opinion, for that one little interaction, that's it. Fuck Jane Fitz forever. But hope you have fun at her gig. Hope you have fun at her gig, Chester. Hope you have fun. Moving on to the main part of the story, main part of the pod. Taylor Robinson, the person responsible for killing Charlie Kirk, has been arrested. Or the assassin, of course. We now know his name, as I mentioned, Tyler Robinson. Only 22 years old, literally a baby. Only 22 years old. He was the person responsible for killing him. Now, the really unfortunate side about this, in my opinion, is I really feel bad for everybody who was falsely accused or falsely confused, as Brendan Shaw would say, for the death of Charlie Kirk. Because there was a bunch of people. There was a couple of trans people, that old man, some other kid that was walking around with the airsoft, rifle. Don't get me wrong, a bit silly, but still, he didn't know what was fucking going on. I feel really bad for the people that got fucking arrested, or got, accused of being responsible for doing it when they weren't. That was really not fair. Really fucking not fair. So I hope those people get an apology. They probably won't, but I'm sure their families got arrested and shit. And it's actually maybe a good thing that the kid got arrested so quickly, because it stopped other people being, thrown up as potential assassins. Because I'm not mistaken, 4chan, they initially had reported this one kid who actually kind of looked a little bit like Tyler Robinson. The person was trans. They kind of looked like Tyler Robinson, but it wasn't them that was responsible for it. But anyway, regardless, let's read the article. It says Tyler Robinson, 22, facing capital murder and weapons charges. Details emerge about alleged Charlie Kirk assassin. I don't think it's alleged anymore. I think it's fairly obvious that he was the person responsible. We got the story here, courtesy of The Independent. Let me get it on here. It says a suspect in the assassination of conservative activists and close Donald Trump ally Charlie Kirk has been identified as a 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Utah Governor Spencer Cox announced on Friday. "We got him," said Cox at a news conference. He was taken in custody Thursday on suspicion of a capital murder, weapons and obstruction offences. Kirk, 31, the CEO and co-founder of the conservative youth organisation Turning Point USA, was fatally shot in the neck during an outdoor speaking event in Utah Valley University. Cox said Robinson confessed to a family member who reached out to Friday night to a friend, who then contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office. The arrest brought an end to the 33-hour manhunt, FBI Director Kash Patel said. Now, this is also proof to me that the police don't know what they're doing, really, for the most part. And it's also a scary indication of just how easy you can get away with stuff like this. He didn't really have that much of a crazy disguise. He kind of looked like a average white guy. And because he had his hat on low and glasses, no one was able to recognize him. No family, friends were able to say, "Oh my God, that's fucking Tyler." No one fucking was able to recognize him. It took his family. It took specifically his dad snitching on him for him to kind of get caught, which is absolutely crazy, by the way. I think that's definitely something that you only see take part in a white family. I think anybody else, black or brown, would definitely, as bad as it is, I don't think they would hand their kid in to the police. I'm not surprised that this kind of happened, but it is kind of proof that the police don't really know what they're doing, really, which is kind of a shame because they have quite a lot of resources at their disposal in terms of CCTV footage that they can kind of gather from neighboring houses next to the university. Prints probably there, but again, that kid probably never got arrested. Loads of things they could kind of run through, but they didn't actually know who it was until his dad decided to get him to kind of, surrender voluntarily. Which I guess also was a good thing in terms of that side of things, to think about it, because that's your son. You don't want your son to get involved in a shootout with the police. That's going to end badly. So maybe the dad deciding to get the kid to kind of, hand himself in was maybe the best way for it to end for the kid. Because if he wouldn't have done that, maybe there are some people on the police force who are fans of Charlie Kirk, who are Republican, who would have been very keen to enter into a firefight, and then it would have, ended very badly for him. So maybe all in all, it's a good thing. Who knows? But if you're Charlie Kirk's family and friends, you probably don't give a fuck because, the guy that you like is still dead. It doesn't really matter that person's got caught now. It doesn't really ease. I don't think it really eases the pain much. But it is surprising. I'm not going to lie. It is very surprising, the look of the kid. That's surprising more so. Because they were, the conservatives or the Republicans or they were doing a really bad job trying to convince everybody that the reason why there's such an issue with like mass shooting is because there's way too much adoption or acceptance of like LGBTQ trans people and stuff. It's like, which to me makes no sense. I don't really know how they're trying to sell this to the American public, but considering the long history America has with like mass shooting and gun issues and whatever else, gun control, to try to ascribe all the violence to small minorities of groups of people, like trans people or black people in terms of violence, is fucking insane. When there's like hundreds of years of research and evidence to show that, in history, that, hey, this issue is widespread across the board. There needs to be more reforms in terms of guns, whatever, something, right, in terms of gun control. But it definitely isn't something that is only something that's being perpetrated by fucking trans people. It's a fucking confusing and odd thing to people out there. But he's not trans, he's white. He also comes from a family that are registered Republicans. They're very gun friendly too. There's pictures of him holding and kind of being around gun fairs and stuff with his dad and whatever else it may be. They look like a tight-knit family. His mum and dad are together. They look like they're very supportive. I think there's a picture that I saw of him going to uni for the first day. His mum's in the car with him as he's driving to his fucking dorm. He looked like he had a great upbringing. The house looks fucking huge. Mormons, like, he looked like he had a very, very, very loving, great household. And again, who knows? It's from the outside looking in. I think his dad was a police officer. His mom was a a community warden officer or something like that. So didn't come from a broken home. Definitely not a pink-haired, septum-wearing lefty that people think he was going to be. Not trans. And this is the person that murked fucking Charlie Kirk, which is fucking weird because he looks like he looks like he could be a Charlie Kirk fan, but he's the person that murked him. Fucking weird. The suspect is said to be listed as politically unaffiliated, although both his parents are believed to be Republican. Cox said the suspect arrived on campus of Utah Valley University on Wednesday, 8:29 a.m. in a grey Dodge Challenger. He was wearing a plain maroon t-shirt, light shorts, and a black hat with a white logo, as seen in surveillance videos. He wore the same clothes when he was arrested on Thursday night. Robinson was not a student at the Utah Valley University where the shooting happened. He was living and had lived for some time with his family in Washington County. Utah voting information seen by the Independent shows his voter status is inactive, meaning he was not voted in the last two general elections or responded to notices sent by the county clerk. His party affiliation is listed as unaffiliated. However, family members said Robinson had become more political in recent years and expressed negative views of Kirk. You think so? You think he had negative views of Kirk? You think so? A family member told authorities that Robinson was full of hate and spreading hate. And by the way, God bless it. God bless his family, man. God bless this kid's family, because I saw a bunch of people attacking them online, sending them really mean messages on Facebook. A bunch of his family, friends, and relatives have been deleting all the pictures of him with fucking Tyler all over their fucking Facebook and shit. It's been pretty grim, man. It kind of shows you the reality of these situations. Like, he did what he did for his reasons, but the people that are going to be suffering now the most, I think, are his family. They're probably going to have to move home, you'd imagine, especially with that being a Republican. I think Utah's a Republican state for the most part. It's definitely red. They're probably going to have to move home. Those kids are probably going to have to move school. They're probably going to be ostracized from their family. Mormons, I'd imagine, are quite close-knit, family-oriented people. It's going to hurt, man. It's going to hurt his family way more. Really, really way more. Yes, he's going to have a hard time in prison, but it's going to hurt his family a lot, man. This one fucking act that he did. He revealed that the family member told investigators that at a recent family dinner, Robinson had mentioned Kirk's up-and-coming Utah Valley event, and then they talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that they had. Robinson's father, Matt, recognized him from his images released by authorities and encouraged him to turn himself in, a law enforcement officer told. So none of his family recognized him. Only the dad recognized him. Only his dad recognized him. None of his other family recognized him. People are saying the dad handed him in for the reward because there was a reward of like, I think officially it was 100,000, but I did see other entrepreneurs and millionaire, billionaire type of people, the right-leaning ones, who I think were offering millions. I think I saw Andrew Tate even put in some money, maybe another million too. So the official reward was 100,000, but I think the unofficial reward might have been 1 million plus. So I wonder if the dad actually did it for the betterment of their family. Look, I got to sacrifice one child. I got to give up one child for the benefit of the whole entire family, which is dark. Because I don't think you'd get this in any other racial demographic. They're never handing in their kid ever. For better or worse, really. He refused at first, but then changed his mind, according to the official who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss an ongoing investigation. The father had reportedly contacted their youth pastor, who sometimes worked with the US Marshals. The pastor called authorities to arrange Robinson to turn himself in. The suspected shooter was arrested approximately 250 miles southwest of the university in St. Georgia, Utah. Law enforcement officials said physical evidence found at the scene of the shooting was tied to Robinson. So he didn't even get that far. Again, man, Luigi Mangione, this kid, they plan a pretty decent execution, right? Luigi Mangione, for the most part, he probably fucked up because he went to too many shops. But for the most part, they plan it pretty well. They cover up pretty well. You can't really tell who they are from the fucking CCTV footage. But they don't have any plan to get away. I wonder why that is. Is it hard? Maybe it's a lot harder to get away, people think. Because if he wants to escape, he has to cut off his connection with his family, right? He has to get a new identity. And I don't know if new identities are as easy to get as they are in the movies, you know? To get a new identity. I guess you have to go to like a third world country. That might be the only way to do it. You have to fly with your official passport and then go to a third world country and then live off the grid. That's why you have to commit to a life where you live off the grid forever. You know, you're not on social. You completely have a new personality. You work cash in hand for the most part, and you just try and live that way. But it also must be difficult to get out of the country. Oh no, because I think after the shooting, the airport was still open for a couple of hours. They said, right? So he could have, if he really planned it, he could have got out of the country, got out of the state pretty quickly because the airports were still open. They didn't ground any planes or anything. So, yeah, really interesting how they don't seem to have a plan to escape. Maybe they don't want to escape. I don't really know. Trump had revealed that some of those details while announcing the suspected shooter was in custody. I think with high degree of certainty, Trump said, we have him. Somebody close to the suspect turned him in before expressing hope that he receives a death sentence. Jesus Christ. Robinson was being held Friday in Utah County Jail. He was arrested on suspicion of aggravated murder, felony discharge of firearm causing serious bodily harm, obstruction of justice charges, and according to the court affidavit, a judge ordered that he be held without bail. Well, his first court appearance will be on Tuesday. So next week, Tuesday, we'll see him in court. He'll probably have some stubble. We'll see how he walks. We'll see how he talks. He'll be there next week, fucking Tuesday. We'll see this assassin kid. Cox said Robinson's roommate showed investigators a number of Discord messages. Oh, his roommate already snitched off the Discord. Oh, come on, roomie. His roommate shared a number of messages from Discord, including one that said he needed to get a rifle from a drop point and another about leaving the rifle in a bush. The content of these included messages affiliated with contact Tyler, stating the need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point. So I wonder who he bought the rifle from. Did he buy it off Telegram? Somebody on the darknet? Wow, people are. I like that, by the way. People drop off rifles. So I guess you pay for the rifle in Bitcoin, but there's no handoff. Someone just drops it in a bush and then you gotta pick it up. Leaving the rifle in the bushes, messages related to the visually watching the area where the rifle was left, and message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. Hours after Friday morning press conference, Discord said it found no evidence that Robinson used the app to plan the incitement violence. Yo, Palantir are gonna start monitoring Discord. monitoring the American people, monitoring WhatsApp, iMessage, Facebook Messenger, Instagram DMs. Palantir are going to be everywhere now. Everywhere. Big up America. These communications between the suspect and roommate and a friend about after the shooting, where the roommate was recounting the contents of the note the suspect had left elsewhere, said Judd Hoffman, vice president of trust at Discord. Hoffman said Discord had taken down the account of the suspected shooter and will keep working with law enforcement. Shell casings found at the rifle were engraving with the messages that read, "If you read this, you are gay." Yeah, that's one of the funniest parts to come out of this whole thing. The trolling, even at the end. Engraving those messages on the fucking bullet. "If you read this, you are gay. LMAO. Notices bulge. Oh wow." What's this? Another one says, "Hey fascist, catch." God almighty. Another said, "Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao," which is a reference to some Italian anti-fascist song from World War II. And yeah, crazy, man. Crazy situation all around. But they've got the kid. They've got him. He's been arrested. He's been charged. He'll be in court on Tuesday. He'll be caught on sometime on fucking Tuesday. That's the mugshot of the kid, right? Looking the way that he does. Love to see it. Love to hear it. It's here from Sky News.
What do we know about the arrest following Charlie Kirk's murder?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Tyler Robinson is 22 from Washington County in Utah. The day after the shooting, with the manhunt in full swing, he confessed to a member of his family and they handed him over for arrest. Robinson had become more political in recent years. Why did they think he shot Charlie Kirk? He didn't like him. In the days before the assassination, he had a conversation about Kirk with a family member. They spoke about his viewpoints, talked about him being full of hate and spreading hate.
So far, there hasn't been a manifesto found. I don't think they found any crazy things on his social media accounts. He doesn't look like he went to any rallies or like debates to debate Charlie Kirk. So he was just a silent hater at home. It would have made more sense if this was somebody that, like, you know, was personally triggered by him online, was spewing loads of anti-Charlie Kirk rhetoric on their timeline. But he seemed to be one of those silent haters, many, you know, in the background. And this is what he done. That's scary, man. Imagine all the people that are actually angry. what they could do. If this is what a silent hater could do, imagine the loud haters.
Investigators say Robinson acted alone. They saw messages he exchanged with a friend in which he spoke of needing to retrieve a rifle from a bush, having wrapped it in a towel. Inscriptions were found on bullet casings. One read, "Hey fascist, catch." Robinson is detained in Utah County Jail, a relief to investigators who were pursuing the killer of a friend.
To my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Which is funny coming from, isn't he Hindu or something, right? Or Bangladeshi or whatever, right? I think he's Hindu, if I'm not mistaken, right? Kash Patel saying, "I'll see you in Valhalla," to a, what, Christian, most likely? Charlie Kirk? A Christian American. What does Valhalla have to do with Hindu or fucking Christians? Please tell me. Please tell me what that has to do with Hindus or Christians. I don't fucking know. But yeah, we saw a bit of that. Young fans and critics debate Charlie Kirk's political legacy, according to the BBC. The sudden and violent death of Charlie Kirk, who rallied youth movements and held celebrity status among his fans, has sparked fierce debate over his political legacy. The 31-year-old's young supporters appreciated his conservative Christian values and frank opinions. Speaking to the BBC, many were in tears as they remembered the man who listened to them and understood their concerns. Wow, young people crying over Charlie Kirk, mad. His views were polarizing on the college campuses where he held large events. Kirk was a strong supporter of gun rights, vehemently opposed abortions, and was critical of transgender rights and promoted false claims about COVID-19. Now, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, I think if you're anti-gun, if you're anti-abortion, if you're pro-trans rights, and if you're pro, I don't know, vaccines and shit, and this guy dies, I think you're allowed to be happy about that. You know, it's a bit distasteful. It doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good. But I think if you're a fan of those things, if you're vehemently against his stance on those topics, on those subject matters, surely you have a right. Surely it's okay for you to be happy that he died, no? I don't really see the issue there. personally. I know it's in bad taste. I know it's classless, whatever it may be, but I don't see why people are shocked and surprised. Like, if you're somebody that really, especially him being a man, right? Him being opposed to abortions, him being, you know, opposed to all those type of things, and not being pro-choice as a dude, you're instantly going to have a whole lot of women that are not going to be fans of you anyway. So to suggest that those women shouldn't be celebrating, shouldn't be cheering from the fucking stands, jumping up and doing cartwheels, is a little bit disingenuous, you know? A little bit disingenuous. But hey, what do I know? Now both supporters and opponents have felt left shaken after he was killed by a single shot. Quote, "I'm sad, distraught," said left-wing influencer Dean Withers, who is known for posting about political issues and debating conservatives. In an emotional video posted to his millions of followers, Withers said gun violence is always disgusting, always vile, and always abhorrent, which met with a lot of criticism, actually. I need to play that. That Dean Withers kid who said what he said there about gun violence, he was met with a lot of criticism. A lot of people didn't like that he had that opinion. And weirdly enough, it's kind of turned a lot of people off of him, because he was like the new Hassan Abbey. That Dean Withers kid, a lot of fans, a lot of kids are kind of following him because he's kind of, you know, he speaks very fast. He's kind of very knowledgeable. He's very young, sprightly kind of kid. But because he was crying, because he had some sort of level of empathy, sympathy for Charlie Kirk dying the way he did, people were hounding him. They're like, okay, you're not on our side anymore. But you know what's funny about the Dean Withers response? I think the Dean Withers response to Charlie Kirk dying was less about him having empathy with Charlie Kirk and more so with him seeing himself in Charlie Kirk and thinking, oh, that could be me. I think that's why he was crying. I don't think he was crying because he felt bad for Charlie Kirk. I think he felt bad. I think he was watching that thinking, oh shit, that could be me one day. That could be me one day. And he just was bawling at the thought of him dying in that fashion, or somebody shooting him in that way because he has a difference of opinion or whatever it may be. But this one girl on TikTok decided to talk to him and essentially broke down why his stance or him crying for Charlie Kirk was kind of received in poor taste. So this is a girl on TikTok. So this is the kid, right? Dean Withers. You know, after he cried, the viral video of him crying about the fucking Charlie Kirk thing. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. What's his face? It's Dean Withers, right? Dean Withers crying. There you go. Let's see if we can get that up on here so you can see what I'm talking about. But this is the video. Where is he? Yeah, this is the video of Dean Withers crying that went viral.
His wife and children were in attendance, dude. Imagine, you know, imagine being a 12-year-old, you know, watching your dad fucking die. Nobody deserves that. Not even Charlie Kirk.
So obviously people on the left hated that. They fucking hated that. They went fucking crazy. And he got called out by his fans for basically not understanding why some people are never going to be okay with Charlie Kirk and were happy that he died because of all the hateful things that he may have said to their community of people. So this is the random person online while he's streaming on TikTok kind of calling him out.
And I don't think that a white person has the moral high ground to be saying this is to be condemned and this is not to be condemned, because you just don't understand it, right? So I'm not excusing unaliving, by the way.
You know what's weird? This girl kind of sounds like Doja Cat. Whoever this person is, she kind of has the same sort of voice inflection as Doja Cat, but we know Doja Cat would never be on a live stream like this kind of calling out. You know what I mean? She's probably a fan of Charlie Kirk as well, but big up Doja Cat.
I just wanted to say, I don't condemn it. I mean, I condemn it. I don't condone it, right? I'm not going to sit here and celebrate. Even on my lives, I clearly said I won't celebrate it. But at the end of the day, if a black person comes to me and celebrates it, I'm not going to condemn them. And I'm black. And I don't understand why white people always feel entitled to tell black and brown people how we should feel and how we should react to harm caused to us. Because
the main issue that I think I have with the whole response police thing is just people crying, you know? The crying on the other side is really odd. Because he said some, you know, some out there stuff. So the people that didn't like the out there stuff that he said are now celebrating that he's dead because they hated him for what he said. I don't think that's that crazy. Like, I get it's tasteless. I guess it's lacking in class. I guess I get it kind of lacks empathy, but to cry about their response and to be complaining about it is really odd. Like, they didn't like him. Of course they're not going to feel sorry that he died. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It makes complete sense. Like, again, I'm not partaking in this celebration of somebody dying. I don't really get, you know what I mean? But I understand why they're going to do it.
Like, Dean, you're a white cishet man. At the end of the day, the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk was spreading does not impact you. Like, you're not directly going to be harmed by it or impacted by it. So I don't get why white people in general feel like they are entitled to tell a black or brown person how they should be reacting to their own oppressor or to their own dehumanizer.
Well, I mean, I think in the sense of like me saying that like you probably shouldn't react in such a way as to like literally go out and like celebrate like the glorification of political violence and somebody dying by getting shot in the neck in front of their family. I get like the aspect of this where, you know, we're talking about the fact that individuals are going to feel some level of relief because we had a proponent of, you know, like very hateful rhetoric in which materialized into harm, and now stop that hateful rhetoric materializing into harm. I get why that's going to make individuals feel relief. Okay. Just that rhetoric ceasing. Okay. That fact on its own, I understand that. I do. I understand that. Rhetoric existing that perpetuates oppression to rhetoric not existing that perpetuates oppression. That is might usher in some sense of relief. Okay. But I think once again, where like my issue lies, and I feel like we've been over this a couple times, isn't there. My issue is more so within like, as we've already talked about a handful of times, the celebration of the point of someone going from alive to dead in a violent manner in front of their family and 1,000 people. Like I don't know. Maybe like I'm really trying here. I swear to God, I'm really trying here. And once again, where I set is at the fact, you know, I had the reaction I did. If you're out there and you know you're not feeling like super sad, like okay, like whatever. I'm not gonna judge you. But it's more so within like the glorification and the justification of the act of political execution. I can agree with that. I can't.
Yeah,
like,
it's
maybe
okay.
Maybe this is just like
this is
a disagreement.
A blind spot. A disagreement, a blind spot, and like I don't think a white person can get it. Like when you said like you understand the violence that his rhetoric could cause, a white person is never going to get that. And I think like that is a blind spot that as a white person, you would like never ever be able to actually fully understand. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine, right? You live within a society where you don't have to think about those things, right? You live within a society that centers you, that caters to you. You don't have to think about how you're going to be subjected to that level of violence. So no, I don't think white people get it. I don't think white people will ever be able to get it. I don't think white people understand what it feels like to, on a day-to-day basis, see people who look like you die in the most brutal manner and the whole world just shrugging. I don't think white people get the fact that when you go to school, you are more likely to be suspended or expelled for simply existing within a black body, and literally the whole world views you as a criminal or as if something is wrong with you or as if you have to make yourself a little but smaller because you shouldn't even be here in the first place. You should be grateful to be alive in the first place, right? I don't think people get that. You do not get that. Nobody gets that. If you are not black, you don't live life as a black person, you do not get that, right? And so even if a person, which I know you have been doing the work, I know that you have been deconstructing like racism and you have been educating yourself. We've had multiple conversations, but at the end of the day, you are still a cishet white man living within the US, within a society that caters to you specifically, right? So you will never ever be able to actually get the violence that black people are being subjected to on a regular basis. And the only issue that I have here is if a person can never ever fully grasp and comprehend and understand what it feels like to be marginalized, why do they think they have a right to condemn the marginalized and how they react, and also determine how the marginalized should be reacting?
That point there is probably that's probably the main point you should have done. Their stuff is probably waffling a bit too much. I'm not really with the fucking whole like we are the only victims. Nobody can fucking relate to our victimhood complex conversation going on there. It's a little bit too much victimy for me. But again, you know, African American people have a whole different other experience that they kind of go through. So credit to them. But I think her point was rounded up really well with that last question right at the end. You know, if people have been victimized by the stuff or have felt, you know, have felt fucking personally offended, insulted, ridiculed, you know, demeaned by the stuff that Charlie Kirk said, I think they have every right to celebrate his death. Now, what I don't want to see is this. The same people who are celebrating, doing backflips, doing star jumps, right? Clapping, whooping at Charlie Kirk's death. If and when somebody on the left gets taken out, I don't want to see you crying about people on the right doing the same thing. You know it's going to happen because I don't like the tit for tat thing anyway. Me personally, I love to live in a world where there is no such thing as political violence. Everyone can say what the fuck they want to say, however inflammatory and crazy it may be. You debate it, you fucking, you know, argue about it online, but violence, I'm not really for. But now we're here, and it's not going to get any better. By the way, in case you're wondering and listening to me and whatever, this is not going to get any better. This isn't going to improve. This is going to get worse. It's just going to ramp up. It's going to be tit for tat until the whole fucking world explodes. So get what you can. Scan, you know, fucking don't scan that chocolate bar in fucking Tesco's. You know, run it up. Lie on your CV. Do whatever you can to get all you can out of this life because the world's going to blow up soon. So let's just put that out there. But if that's the case, and there is going to be probably a reaction on the other side, I don't want to see these same people that are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death to be crying online when their left-leaning liberal woke person gets taken out. I don't want to see it. You're allowed to dance. You're allowed to celebrate now. But if it happens on the other side, don't cry. I don't like the violence either way. But if we're going to do tit for tat, do tit for tat for real, you know? But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Absolutely nada. Of course, you know me. I don't know much. So let's move on quickly and talk about this. This is connected with the with the fucking engraving on the bullet casings, which was a massive troll, which I'm surprised the police chief or whatever his name is and the people over there in Utah didn't clock on. They've kind of given this kid what he wanted. He's got a lot of attention off of this. They probably should never have read this out in the press conference, but they did. I think he wanted this to happen this way. They decided to read out the engravings on the bullet casings that are left near the gun. And yeah, they feel like, to me, like a big troll. This feels like part of the reason of why he did it.
That had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." That had been engraved on...
That last one is like, that's obviously a troll on purpose, right?
Bella Chow, Chow Chow. And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." Unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
You know what's really funny about that "if you are gay, LMAO" comment on the engraving on the bullet casing? Some people are suggesting that this guy with a bald head, I think his name is Cox, might be a bit zesty. They were saying he could be DL. So it's hilarious that he read out that bullet casing, you know, with the narrative going on there, because he sounds the way he does that he might be zesty. Big up Eden Spiznik in the stream chat. "I've never heard anyone's race of people so consistently victims mentality. My Argentinian grandmother came here as a refugee and I've never heard her yap on about woe is me." Yeah, I get what you mean from the outside looking in, but I think, to be fair to the African American people over there, I think it's different when your race of people were enslaved, you know? What was that? Nearly 300 years of slavery. I think being subjected to slavery, that just gives you a whole different tint. I don't think anyone can really understand, even us, even me, being somebody that lives over here in the UK. I don't even think I could ever understand their lived experience, their history, you know, their life, having ancestors, having probably relatives who are still alive now
who were slaves at one point. That's going to really change the way you look at the society, look at the world, look at politics, your way, your place in the country, your role in the country, your role around amongst your community. It's a whole different affair over there, honestly. Like being subjected to racism or racism to that level, right, in terms of slavery, I don't think anyone can ever understand it apart from the people that were obviously in it. So as much as the victim thing can sound a bit, I get what you mean. It sounds a bit annoying because it sounds a bit whiny. They don't come stop. I don't think you could ever get over being a slave, to be honest. I don't think there's anything, even being free from being a slave, will never stop you not remembering that experience, right? And that experience, that trauma will probably get passed down to your generations to come. Happens in other ways too. Just with violence happens, right? If you come from a violent family, usually those type of things pass on to different generations, even without direct evidence of it. So just imagine the trauma that gets caused from fucking 300 years of fucking slavery. It's fucking crazy. So I get it. It sounds a bit wild, but I think African Americans are allowed to complain about all of that, because of that slavery shit. That slavery shit was fucking crazy, man. Let's be real. A lot of people died, man. A lot of people died. A lot of people were abused. A lot of people were tormented, hung, loads of crazy shit, man. It's kind of crazy. And to be fair as well, that country too, let's be fair, North America as well, they have a weird thing about race. It's always kind of confused me how America is, because if you think about it, right, like the only people who can say they're true Americans really are the Native Americans who probably don't even have that much sway in that country. They give them casinos and stuff and liquor licenses so they can get drunk and get in debt, but they're not really, they don't really have that much sway. But they're the real Americans, right? Everyone else there is technically an immigrant. The really funny thing about all of that is their lack of tolerance, though. That's what I don't understand. Like, you took the country from other people, which is, maybe worked out for the best in the end, because it's a country full of people from all around the world. It's widely regarded as the best country in the world. But then you're not that open or understanding or whatever of other races and other nationalities, They have a very strange... They have a very bigoted, racist kind of view on other nations. So it's just odd. I find that strange. Like, I find the racism in like Germany and Spain a bit more understandable, right? Because it's just white people. But America's never just been white people. It's been white people from all around the world. So you'd expect it to kind of be, a little bit more understanding of each other. But it's not. It's actually the opposite. It's actually the opposite. Like, they're way less understanding in some parts, not all parts, I understand. But the issue with race is a big deal over there, man. They talk about it all the time. Race permeates every part of culture in America. It's the only thing they kind of obsess over. And it makes sense, again, because there's so much racist history in their history, right? So many issues, so many whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's all weird, man. It's all weird and sad, man. It's all weird and sad because, like I said, it's just going to get worse, brothers and sisters. It's just only going to get worse. And remember, there was a time, big up everybody in the stream chat or people listening and watching this who are from Europe, who are from the EU, who are from parts of Asia, who are from parts of the Australias. Everyone that's listening to us from that place. Do you remember when you were growing up and you had a dream of living in America? I know I did. I know when I was in fucking, secondary school, primary school and shit, watching Power Rangers, all these type of things, you'd wish that you could live in America. You could go to an American high school, right? You could go to an American college. You might play football. You might play basketball. Like, we used to honestly love it. Oh my God, that'd be so cool. And now look, like, that place is so scary, bro. So fucking scary. Like, you could get into an argument, right? You could get into an argument in the parking lot with some fucking mum over a parking spot, and she could blow your head off with a gun because you got too close. You could be having an argument with a woman over a parking spot, and that could be the last breath you take if you speak to her wrong. If you step too close to her, if you make a threatening move, she could blow your whole entire head off her. And this is a simple argument that happens all around the world. And it usually ends with fuck yous and middle fingers and some beeps and aggressive driving off. But in America, if you say the wrong thing to somebody in America, if you walk on someone's lawn you're not meant to walk on, you could get your whole face blown off. That is scary to me, man. I'm not sure about you, but that's fucking scary. Because don't get me wrong, if I was in America, I wouldn't fight. Fuck fighting, bro. We fight a lot here, right? There's a lot of fucking fisticuffs here. If I was American, I wouldn't fight anybody. Like, you step to me, I'm pulling this fucking trigger. Please do not test me. You know what I mean? There would be no fighting. I would just be pulling at the hammer.
I'll be pulling out the fucking hammer. So this is the song that this is that Bella Ciao, oh Bella Ciao song. It's allegedly some anti-fascist song. It says here Charlie Kirk's killer Tyler Robinson had this anti-fascist movement song, Italian folk lyrics engraved on his unfired bullet. Oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao. Is it playing it? Oh my God! Do you see that? Yeah, big up Ryan Harty. Do you see that beheading? Was that the beheading where there's like a camera shot on like a parking, the front area of some building, and all you see is a head rolling into frame? I just saw it randomly on Twitter the other day. Honestly, I've seen so much dark shit recently. You see a head rolling, bloodied head rolling into frame, and then you see people on the gate looking at it, and then some guy walks up to the head, grabs it with his hands by the hair, and walks over to the side of the wall like. I don't know who the guy was, who he fucking beheaded, but some random guy just beheaded somebody and kicked the fucking head along the fucking floor. And it was rolling at the front of some building, just rolling, someone's head. Just rolling there. Just, oh my God, honestly. Living in America is scary, bro. It's fucking scary. The best recent use of the song was when someone in Milan played it in front of his window to interrupt a literal fascist rally. So there's a fascist rally happening and some person played that Bella Ciao song out of their window. So I guess it's an anti-fascist song, which I guess was what that guy was all about. Bella Ciao. Vaffanculo. You can hear the guy in the background singing, and the guys in the crowd, the fascist guys in the crowd. Look at that! You can tell they're fascists, in it. Italian fascists are different breed. Look at them, all bald heads, and there's like "Baffanculo." Bella Ciao. They're so mad. They're so angry. They're so angry. They want to go up there right now, don't they? They are so mad. Jesus Christ, bro. Look at those bomber jackets everywhere. How Hitler's everywhere. Absolutely hilarious world we're living in right now. Absolutely hilarious world we're living in right now. Yeah, man. There he is. Look at that. Look at the family, man. Look at the family life. Looks like he's got a loving mum. Lives in a really affluent, big area. Loving family. Like, those are not type of, I don't know. Toxic families don't take these type of pictures. Right, toxic families don't take matching pajama family pictures. Not, do you know what I mean? These come from loving families that get along, because everyone has to agree to do it, right? Everyone has to take the fucking corny picture. That's really embarrassing, but there has to be a love for each other there. Parents that clearly look like they're in love together, in love with each other still. Siblings, you yourself, straight A student. How do you get from that? How do you get from that to fucking killing somebody, assassin, smacking somebody in the neck? Fucking wild, isn't it? Absolutely wild. Really fucking absolutely wild. There's more pictures of him actually with his dad having some food, a restaurant, you know, went to a gun range with his what's that? No, what is this? Having fun in SLC weekend. We came up here to see Uncle Mikey work. So his whole family, the kids' family are in the army. His dad, I think, was a police officer and shit. But again, just a regular American kid. Nothing crazy, you know? There's plenty of kids out there in America that do exactly the same thing. Comes from a Republican family and then boom, took out fucking Charlie Kirk. Absolutely wild scenes, man. Absolutely wild scenes. And obviously, this clip is the funniest clip for me because, you know, Kash Patel is clearly, you know, not white, clearly not Scandinavian, and he's a Hindu, and he's saying, well, I'll see you in Valhalla to a Christian Republican. Absolutely hilarious. And also, it's just something that's not, you wouldn't expect the head of the FBI to be saying. Do you know what I mean? He's so fucking, the job is so above his pay grade that it's clearly obvious. By the way, even he conducts himself, it's like, what is this?
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk. Rest now, brother. We have the watch. And I'll see you in Valhalla.
What a dork, isn't it? What a fucking dork. I'll see you in Valhalla. But he's definitely, you know, on Twitter, right? There's those accounts, which I love to follow because they post some crazy shit, right? But you know, there's accounts on Twitter that have like Roman soldiers as like avatars, or Greek gods, or prominent Stoics and shit, right? Or like very questionable philosophers and stuff. They post like really fucking crazy white nationalist things. Really and truly, most of those accounts are run by like Ian Miles Chong types. They're not probably run by white kids. You think they're run by like, you know, Puritan race type of kids, but not really. They're probably run by Asian dudes that look like fucking Kash Patel. Those accounts that you think they're super fucking racist and shit, but they're probably run by this guy. Honestly, it's fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. But the wildest thing for me, the wildest part of this whole affair has been how the Republicans and how the Conservatives are reacting to all of these people celebrating that Charlie Kirk died, right? Because Charlie Kirk was a very divisive figure. He said some very hurtful things to people of different communities. For me, it doesn't seem that surprising or that out of character or that bad that there are some people who are doing backflips, celebrating and doing fucking, you know, whatever, Harlem shakes to the fact that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Well, some Republicans, some Conservatives don't agree. And they are getting their revenge on those people who are celebrating by taking the clips of these people that they are posting online of them celebrating and sending them to their employers. Yes, you've heard that. Republicans are gathering intel. They're gathering all the clips, all the posts of people who are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, and they're sending these posts to their employers to get them fired. People are getting fired left, right, and center from their proper jobs. One of them is this one, this post here, courtesy of a guy called Ryan Fournier. It says, meet Lisa Schmidt. She's a sustainability and climate senior advisor at NASDAQ, which basically means she's useless. She posted her on Instagram story, this, right? Look what she posted on Instagram story. This girl posted on Instagram story, interrupting the Euro trip content to say, fuck Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. So she's out on holiday with her girls in Europe somewhere. She posted on her own Instagram profile, right? She's a random girl, private citizen. She's not posting on Twitter, on her own Instagram profile. Somebody found it and they posted her fucking LinkedIn profile. And then they sent her fucking that post to her employer to say like, is this someone that you fucking encourage? Which is weird because you'd imagine the conservative people are usually very anti-cancel culture, but they're now using the same tactics that the left-leaning people were using to kind of get people in trouble. I just find that interesting, you know, the hypocrisy of both sides, you know. The left-leaning people are very anti-violence and anti-guns. Now they're cheering on this kid that assassinated Charlie Kirk with a gun. The right people are usually anti-cancel culture, freedom of speech. Now they are not freedom of speech people, and they're also cancel culture because they're getting people fired. Fucking wild how it works out. And if you scroll down, you'll see an update here that says she's been fired. They fired that girl. Darren, I'm the Chief Legal Risk and Regulatory Officer for NASDAQ. Our CEO, Adina Friedman, immediately forwarded your email to me earlier this morning. Thank you for bringing this matter to my attention. I want to be clear that the content shared runs counter to NASDAQ values and what we stand for as a company. NASDAQ has zero tolerance policy towards violence and any commentary that condemns or celebrates violence. The employee in question has been terminated effective immediately. Thanks again for willingness to share the deep concerns. I don't know about you, right? I've been fired a couple of times and it's not a fun experience. It's not a cool experience. It's not a nice experience. But there's truly no worse time to get fired than when you're on holiday. There is truly no worse time to get fired in your life than when you're on holiday. You're in the midst of having a good time. You're in the midst of usually spending a lot more money than you usually spend, and then you find out you're fired. That is brutal. Fucking brutal. Even if you're spending your savings, whatever you're doing, the fact that you're on holiday and you get fired is fucking awful. But even though I don't like this cancel culture shit, I don't like this snitching shit, I don't like this tattletale shit, this hall monitor shit, I don't like this, right? It's fucking lame. You have to be honest and say, this Lisa Schmidt girl, she was dumb in it. Why would you post that on a public Instagram that isn't private? Surely if you work at NASDAQ anyway, in my personal opinion, if you work at NASDAQ, wouldn't you have a private profile anyway because of the level of a company that you're working for? You wouldn't want anyone to just be able to find you. You'd have definitely a private Instagram at least, or you'd post that to your close friends. But the fact that she's got a public Instagram working at NASDAQ is fucking crazy. But it's also kind of wild because most likely the person that fobbed her in, the person that took the screenshot and shared it, was probably a friend. That's the really sad bit about it. Someone that she thinks is a friend got her sacked. Because this is a random girl, you know? This is a random girl. So somebody from her friend group posted that somewhere and they picked up steam around Republican people and she got fired. So thoughts and prayers go out to Lisa Schmidt, bro. Thoughts and prayers go out to her. And as you can see there, she got fired. Her LinkedIn profile's already got deleted. I think she scrubbed her LinkedIn profile. Still not as... So yeah. Look, me 30 seconds ago. Really interesting perspective. Great read. Bye Lisa. You lost your job. Somebody wrote there. Wow, bro. They got her fired from her job. And then NASDAQ posted an update on their official Twitter account as well. We are aware of the social media post by an employee regarding the shooting of Charlie Kirk. We have a zero clear violation of our policy. NASDAQ has zero tolerance towards violence. This also is a proof that we're shifting in it as a culture. Because I think in the past, she wouldn't have got fired. A few years ago, she wouldn't have got fired. But now everyone's switching to like being anti-woke, I guess. This is probably why she got fired as well. Because the culture shifted. But she should have been smarter and not said that on her public profile. Well, there's more. There's fucking more. Look at this person. Another person who got fired because of their posts on social. You're seeing a lot more of these clips pop up everywhere now.
So, I was just fired from my job. So, yeah. Follow me. I don't know.
Ouch.
This video, give me a follow. And stay tuned for more content.
Oh no, bless her.
It is coming.
Bless her, bro. That's that shock. That's that fucking shock. She still hasn't been able to process what happened. Yep. You got fired, girl. You got fucking fired. That's fucking brutal. And then we got another one here from another lady that also got fired because of a post because of Charlie Kirk.
So I've lost my job. I got called into the office yesterday. And I kind of felt like something was off, but they called me.
That always happens, though. Don't worry. Your gut never lies to you. Your gut never lies. In those scenarios, if your gut feels weird and you feel like something's off at your work, you're usually right. No, in my experience, never has when you felt bad about something have you been proved wrong. Like you felt you're gonna get fired and you got called into an office and they said, "Hey, here's some money. Here's a promotion, free holiday." No, it doesn't happen that way. If you feel something at the pit of your stomach at your work that's telling you that something's off, like you're not getting the same hellos, people are avoiding eye contact, you know, you're not getting any emails telling you what to do or follow up, you know, you can kind of see there's a little bit of there's a hint, there's something in the air. You know it's coming. You know what's coming.
In the office yesterday, and after I finished like half through the work.
By the way, that's brutal too, right? Big up capitalism, innit? Big up fucking capitalist societies. She's about to get fired and they still let her do half a day's work. They don't tell her in the beginning when she gets in, "Hey, come to the office straight away." They let her work all the way up until lunchtime. Get a good half day worth of working. Then they call into office to say, "Yep, you've been let go." Love it. Gotta fucking love it.
And told me that they could either fire me or I could put a resignation in, but that would look better. But they fired me, or they're getting rid of me because of my...
To be fair, that's a good thing too. That shows that she has people that actually like her, that they offered her that option of like, hey, you can put in your own resignation in so it doesn't look bad on your record, so that you can just say you resigned, or we'll fire you, and then if you want a reference, we're gonna have to tell them that you got fired because you know, cheered Charlie Kirk's killing. So yeah, still, that's brutal, isn't it?
Because of my TikTok and the book post, somebody screenshot a lot of my TikToks, and
a lot. How many posts did you post celebrating his death? Come on, girl. This looks like a woman that's got like kids and shit. Like, how many posts did you make? Maybe make one, or you can make one. At most, you should have put lol or something. Black background, lol, full stop. So no one could know exactly what you're talking about. That's what you should do if you have a public account. You know, black background, white text, lol, full stop. That's it. You shouldn't be posting, yeah, fucking shame, memes of you dancing, celebration, fucking tune. Like, no, you shouldn't go that far. She did too much, man. Many posts, you know. Loads of screenshots. How many stuff did you post?
Wrote a nasty letter, and in my Facebook, screenshot those and mailed them to the office, to my boss. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got up early this morning and started throwing stuff outside to sell it. People's come, $1 here, $1 there.
Jesus Christ, man. She got fired and she immediately just started selling stuff in her front lawn. Like what? Like bric-a-brac car boot sale type of shit. Ay, man. I don't know. If you've got a full-time job, should you even be on social media posting like that anyway? Just enjoy the memes that everyone else is posting. That's unemployed people stuff. Keep out unemployed people's business, man. Stay with your job. Like, you shouldn't even be on social media posting like that. You know what I mean? Like, watch a couple of things, but like, why are you even creating content if you got a job? Like, focus on your fucking job. Oh, lady.
I just don't know. I don't know what to do. I just know that this 2 years has been bad. It's been bad.
It's about to get worse.
I mean, just one thing after another. Yeah.
I don't know, man. If that's your case and that's been your life, maybe you shouldn't be celebrating someone's death, you know? If you've been having a bad run of luck in your life, you should be focusing on correcting that, changing course, hoping it gets better. You should be trying to pour misery, you know? Like, I don't know. Or maybe, to be fair, that makes sense. Maybe if you are going through a tough time, you're going to seek a lot of pleasure out of seeing somebody else go through a worse time because they got killed. But, hey, make your profile private, girl.
So, I don't know. That's what I keep saying. I just don't know. It's not fair. I think it's unfair. That somebody would be that malicious to do that to me.
Come on, girl. You can't say you're the victim. Malicious. It's unfair to you. How about to his family then? What? You can't be talking the game of unfairness, man. You did what you did, you know. Now there's a consequences. It is what it is, isn't it? Like, come on.
I would never hurt anybody.
You hurt someone.
Not like that. Not intentionally like that. But somebody did that, and I think it's somebody that works in the office. I mean,
it could be anybody. It doesn't really matter who it is, really. It could be fucking anybody.
Why? I'm lost.
You know what? I just remembered. Don't most jobs, don't they have a lot of like rules around social media anyway? Forget celebrating about Charlie Kirk. Most places, I think, if they really enact the terms of service or whatever your contract said, not terms of service, but you know, contractual thing that you sign, I swear there's things against like even swearing online. Like, you know what I mean? There's certain jobs have a very strict policy about posting stuff on social. Like, you're not even allowed to post where you work, record stuff that you're doing, post work stuff on social, swear, saying like whatever. You know what I mean? There's certain things you're not allowed to say. So imagine celebrating somebody's death. Like, you're obviously going to get in trouble for that too. Especially if they died in that brutal, horrible circumstance. It makes no sense really why she's surprised. Like, I don't know. Just, I don't know. Don't be that bait.
I am a genuinely nice person. I'm nice to everybody.
And you know what makes it easy too? We live in an age where people love social media. So most likely she has her full name on her social media profiles, a full government on there. She has a fucking public LinkedIn profile with all her education background, work experience. So it makes it even easier for people to fucking dox you. Like if you're gonna be a public facing person online, at least make it a little bit difficult for someone to dox you. Don't have everything fucking public, no anonymity, everything in your fucking government name, a public LinkedIn, a public Twitter, a public Insta. It's like, come on, man, be a little bit more discerning than that.
All I know is this 2 years has been super bad.
It's about to get worse. It's about to get worse, baby girl.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I feel bad for it, but hey, you gotta take some accountability for your actions, my friend. Another one, breaking. Benjamin Philo, a teacher at the BPS. What is BPS? What is that? Barrington Public Schools, has been placed on administrative leave after reportedly posting this disgusting video celebrating Charlie Kirk's death.
I have about as much sympathy.
So what? He's a teacher. This is a teacher, by the way.
I have about as much sympathy for Charlie Kirk right now as I do for all those farmers across the country who want socialist handouts from the government right now. This is a man who hated the LGBTQ community, who hated women's rights, who hated democracy, who thought that he was a big man because he went to college campuses and debated young college students and thought he proved how tough he was with his words that he studied ahead of time. What a piece of garbage. This is what happens.
I don't even have an issue with what he said, to be honest, right? I don't really have an issue with what he said. It's just wild saying this as a teacher. Like, as a teacher in a school, saying this sort of stuff on a like you probably wouldn't encourage your fucking students to say this sort of stuff, right? But as a teacher, you have to have a little bit more decorum, a little bit more, restraint. You can't be posting like this on fucking social. Fucking hell. Next, and then of course the next post on here, it shows us update. Somebody emailed them, obviously. I'm writing to inform me that the teacher at Barrington Schools has been placed on paid administrative leave, and we are conducting a thorough investigation led by third parties who took in concerns related to alleged social media activities. These actions were not in accordance with the district policies and procedures. While we continue to share details, I want to be clear, Barrington Public School holds the staff to highest professional standards. Oh my god, bro. A good ass teaching job as well. And there you go, on administrative leave. Another person, meet Chicago public school student and voice and leadership specialist. What are these DEI higher roles? What the fuck is that even? What does that role even mean? Meet a Chicago public school student voice and leadership specialist. Jesus, what a title. Just made up shit. Mildred Garcia Gomez. On Instagram, Gomez laughed about Charlie Kirk's assassination and celebrated his death with her daughter. With your daughter, barefaced on social.
For the people that are like, thoughts and prayers and condolences and empathy for Charlie Kirk and his family. In the words of Cardi B, we don't condone white supremacy. Cheers. Cheers.
Now you're not going to be able to feed your daughter, man. Now you're not going to be able to feed your daughter. Now you're not going to be able to feed your own daughter. Like, ay. Just unnecessary. Breaking, the Secret Service agent who publicly said Charlie Kirk deserved to be killed has officially been placed on leave and expected to be immediately fired. People are reckless out there, isn't it? People are reckless. You work in the Secret Service and you're what? You're cheering on the death of a fucking political like, huh? Like, just, I don't know, man. Celebrate the guy's death over some beers with your friends in a bar. You'd have to post it on social, like with your. Some people are just crazy. Another one. Canadian leftist Devon Cassidy, who worked at the Legal Aid, BC, has been laid off, or has been fired. She posted a video of herself hysterically laughing and celebrating the killing of Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk got shot and he's dead! Finally, somebody with a gun, which is almost everybody in the fucking States, grew a pair and fucking went and shot somebody on the right side. Thank you. Can we keep this up, please?
What? Can we keep this up? Finally. Yeah, get fired, girl. Get fired. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. Finally, you know? Finally. Okay. Another one. What's this called? Michael Rex, a professor at the Cumberland University, reportedly smeared and mocked Charlie Kirk after he was assassinated, saying karma is beautiful, bitch. To Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk for some prayers. Oh, and karma is beautiful. Crying about a Nazi getting shot while staying silent about a school shooting in Colorado today is peak Republican. And he works in a school. He's a teacher as well. What is he? A professor. And now the update is, at Cumberland University, we are committed to fostering an environment where learning, growth, and personal development can flourish free from disruption or concern. After a thorough and review process, we would like to confirm that the member of the faculty, Dr. Michael Rex, and member of staff, Mr. Max Ward, both of whom made inappropriate comments in relation to the tragedy of Charlie Kirk, are no longer employed by the university. This decision was not made lightly. God almighty. Losing your job over Charlie Kirk and dying is actually kind of tragic. He actually has a laugh now. Weirdly enough, no Burner Boy, but Charlie Kirk actually has the last laugh. Yeah, Charlie Kirk deserved what he got. Another lady, GTCC professor Lisa Greenlee of Greensboro, NC, has been fired after getting recorded telling students, "I'll praise the shooter. He had good aim," shortly after Charlie Kirk's assassination. God almighty.
I'll praise the shooter. He did a good. He had good.
Crazy thing to say, man. What a crazy thing to say. And I'm calling on to immediately fire the state employee attacking the late Charlie Kirk. Yeah, so I don't know. It's gonna get worse before it gets better over there in the States, isn't it? It's gonna get worse before it gets fucking better. It's gonna get worse before it gets fucking better. It really is. It really, unfortunately is. But I guess, you know, it makes sense because we're living in a politically charged world. Everybody's super heated. Everybody's super silly, super dumb. So here we are. Here we are, unfortunately. Here we are, unfortunately. Things are just not going to get any better anytime soon. Things are not going to get better anytime soon. Quickly moving on from that. We have a quick update regarding Young Philly. As you guys know, Young Philly from the UK has been basically held in custody or out on bail, but not allowed to travel, and basically held hostage in Australia for like a year since he got charged with rape. Once he was out there on tour, he got charged with rape. I think one girl came out, and then a couple of other girls from the time he was in Spain also came out and said something. And he's been basically held there until his court date. It seems like Australian courts move very, very slow, because from the time of him getting arrested to now, it's basically been a year. So he's been out there for ages awaiting his trial, and I'm assuming he's probably running out of money. Most likely he's probably running out of money and shit. He decided that he wanted to put in a bid to try and come back home for Christmas. Partly I'm assuming for his family, but also maybe to try and see if he can get some sort of jobs in the meantime, maybe do a couple of interviews. I don't really fucking know. But regardless, he did put in that bid, and it's now been accepted. So I read here currently, courtesy of the
West Australian. It says rapper Young Philly is set to return to the UK on bail while facing claims that he raped a woman after a Perth show. So he's been allowed a temporary, freedom to return to the UK for Christmas. I think he's flying back on Tuesday, they said on the article. And then I guess he stays here until Christmas and then goes back maybe when the trial starts. They'll probably have other things in place to make sure he doesn't escape. But I'm wondering, because isn't he from like Colombia, right? For his family. I wonder if there's like a plan just in case things go belly up. He might do a detour on the way to Australia and just, nick up to Colombia. Who knows? But here we go. The article says as follows. Rapper Young Philly, accused of raping a young woman after a show in Perth last year, has been cleared to fly home to the UK after his lawyer fought to have his bail condition changed. The YouTuber known as Young Philly, real name Andres Felipe Valencia Barrentos, has been facing 9 sex offenses, including 6 counts of sexual penetration without consent, and has had to remain in WA ahead of his district trial. By the way, that charge alone would make anybody's skin crawl. You'd be so ashamed, innit? That more like, including 6 counts of sexual penetration without consent. That actually sounds worse than rape. That term there, penetration without consent, sounds worse than the actual word rape. I swear to God, that's a crazy thing to get levied against you. Fucking wild. And again, he seemed like a bit of a ladies' man. He seemed like he had a big, female fan base, which seems to be always the case. It seems to be the case that the guys who actually have the more options, who are most desired by women, are also sometimes the guys who are the most abusive. It sounds fucking wild to be even in that situation when you've got girls that willingly want to fuck you. Why do you want, why would you want to do that? Fucking insane. 30-year-old, not that if you don't have people that really want to fuck you gives an excuse, but you know what I mean. 30-year-old has pleaded not guilty to all but 2 of the charges and has been stuck in WA as part of his strict bail conditions. And the other thing that makes his bail conditions even stricter, which makes sense because of the severity of the crime, he has to, hold on. Was he with that girl? Has he got a partner over there while he's out there? Is that girl with him in white? I wonder if that girl here was moving out the way. Did she travel with him in a car and try to get out of the way of the cameras? I never understand guys. I don't know. Let's assume that this girl's with him, right? I've never understand guys who are like that. I've never understand guys who go through what he's going through, and then they look to get in a relationship. Like I get it's stressful, but surely you have other things to focus on and worry about. Why are you you have to ask questions also about the girl who would willingly get involved with somebody who's got a pending rape case over their heads, right? 2 or 3 of them. You'd be a little bit wary, and that way surprises me as well. By the way, girls online like to talk a big game about guys having the ick and being scary, especially guys who abuse women or guys who have touched kids and shit. But you do, I've seen a lot of cases where guys who are getting charged with rape are walking into their court case holding their hand of their wife, their girlfriend. Women don't seem to have that much of an issue with it in real life. I think online they do. They like to say, if a guy's abusive and that. But I think in real life, I'm sure some of you guys know, there's probably a ton of guys that who are abusive, physically, emotionally, everything to women, but they never don't have girlfriends, For some reason, women seem to turn a blind eye to that sort of stuff in real life. I don't know why, really. It's very, very strange. But anyway, let's read it. Who knows? She might just be a pedestrian. You never know. She might be a pedestrian. But if that's his girlfriend now, that's fucking interesting, isn't it? Considering everything he's going through, I don't know, if that was me and I was falsely accused of raping somebody, the last thing I'd want is a girlfriend, you don't even want to see a woman. You're in a headspace where you just want to clear your name, you're not really thinking about that sort of shit. But I guess maybe being in Australia out there for nearly a year, niggas get lonely, innit? Niggas get lonely. Niggas need to bust. Mr. Barrentos is allowed to leave WA to reside at an address in the county of Kent in the England southeast. He must return to Perth no later than January 7th. Okay, cool. So he's allowed to stay here from October all the way to January, which is nice. They gave him that, considering the seriousness of the allegations. He would have to surrender his passport again to the courts the following day. Mr. Barrentos must have his mobile phone switched on with location services enabled. Yeah, I think the fucked up thing they did to him, which I didn't like, I think was a bit excessive. Because again, he's innocent until proven guilty, right? But I thought the thing that was excessive about his bail conditions was that he had to sign in or sign on at a fucking police station every Thursday. I think every week. So I think every week he's been in Perth, Every week he's been stuck in Australia for these rape cases. He's had to go to a police station and sign, you know? So he's got a strict curfew. He can't post on social media, all this sort of stuff. And he has to stay there and go to a police station every Thursday or something. It's fucking crazy. What he has to do is like, where else is he going to go? But I don't know. Mr. Barrentos must have his mobile phone switched on. He told the court he understood the conditions. Of course, Your Honor. The rapper and internet personality was set to pick up his Colombian passport from the courts on Friday afternoon. He might be going home. He might never come back. If he's guilty, he might just run to Colombia like, fuck this. Let's go straight to Medellin. His 10-day trial is set to begin on July. Oh my God. So when he goes back to Australia in January, his trial doesn't start for another 7 months. Fucking hell. They don't play in Australia, innit? His trial starts in 20th of fucking July next year. He has to he's allowed to come back to the UK from now to January 7th. Then he has to stay in fucking Australia from January 7th all the way until the trial, of course. God almighty. They don't. One thing is for certain. If you're a foreigner and you go to Australia, enjoy the weather, enjoy the food, enjoy the people. I heard people in Australia are really fucking nice. But don't break the law. If you break the law in Australia, it's kind of like breaking the law in the Middle East, right? You're going to be fucked. There he is, smiling, kind of having a bit of banter with the fucking cameraman, it looks like. Again, I'd be fucking distraught every day. I wouldn't be smiling and stuff, but, you know, maybe he's just in good spirits. Mr. Barrentos had to pay $100,000 personal undertaking, is not allowed to post about the case on social media, and must go within 500 meters of two people whose initials were read out in court. Mr. Barrentos, hold on. Okay, he's not allowed to post about the case. I thought you can't go to media flat out. It says he's not allowed to post about the case. Okay. Mr. Barrentos did not speak to the media when arriving at the court on Friday after arriving in a black van. Police alleged Mr. Barrentos sexually assaulted the female victim at a hotel after a gig at Bar 1 in Hillary's on September 28th. He was extradited to Queensland and Perth by sex assault squad detectives. The YouTuber aspiring rapper has collaborated with UK comedians and bands. Mr. Barrentos has pled not guilty to 4 counts of sexual penetration. He's also fighting 3 counts of sexual assault, occasionally bodily harm, and 1 count of impeding persons breathing and circulation by applying pressure. I wonder if he's going to get in trouble coming back home too. I wonder if there's like a pending case in the UK. That would be really fucked up, innit? I wonder if he comes back, he gets arrested straight away when he lands because he's got another pending case. Brutal. But again, you know, maybe don't rape people and you'll be fine. Maybe don't rape people and you'll be fine. But if I was him, I'd be on some anti-team because I've got a feeling when he comes back, a couple of his friends are going to try and reach out and be friendly again. But probably while he's been out there, he's probably had no contact from his friends, industry friends, whatever. They've all turned their back on him, essentially. Maybe because they think he's guilty or because they're worried about their own brand. But if he comes back and they all reach out again, you know the industry's fake, innit? If they all like kind of trying to get back into his good graces, hey, what's up, man? You know how fucking fake the industry is. I doubt that's going to happen because you can't talk about the case anyway. But yeah, what a crazy situation, man. Crazy situation. But I'd imagine he's probably going to get back on doing content. He's probably going to try and make some money while he comes back. Maybe do some, I don't know what he'll do. Maybe a podcast talking about other stuff that not concerning the case. I don't know how he'll make it work. But it seems like a crazy situation all around. Really fucking does. Really fucking does. Okie dokie. There's also this news courtesy of Tom Sachs. So as you guys know, the Tom Sachs MarsYard 3.0s were due to come out soon. And as part of the challenge, because usually for all the Tom Sachs MarsYards that he's done 2, for all of them basically, or for the MarsYard specifically, he's done these challenges where you have to basically do these activities, these workouts, these designs. He's all about kind of being tactile and being out there and touching grass. So he kind of tied it into the shoes, so the practice of having the shoes. And people did it, some people did, some people didn't. This one in particular, they had an app. They had an app with different challenges that you could do every day that would give you points, and those points would allow you to go up the leaderboard, and where position you want on the leaderboard, increase your chances of buying the shoe. Well, it seems like Nike and Tom Sachs have pulled a big okie doke because the competition's over, the challenge is over, The shoes are now available to buy for those who won the list or the whatever. But they're now saying that the demand was so high of the shoes that they haven't made enough. And now people are having to wait for stuff to get, you know, put in production again and sent out. And some people might have to wait until next year to get their shoes. But it's been a whole shit show. There's been a bunch of people who've been really trying hard on that app to get a higher score, to increase their chances of buying the shoe. And now they're being fucked over. I'm happy that I didn't enter. I was going to enter at the beginning, but in the end I kind of fought against it because I'm the type of person where if you apply for a job and they start asking you questions about, you know, giving them fucking, not even examples, but doing challenges, doing fucking work in order to kind of improve your chances of getting employed, I never do it anyway. I never do any of those tasks. I refuse to. I think it's abhorrent really when an employer tries to get you to do a task that requires a lot of time. Like, I don't know, give us a marketing plan for our Q4, analyze our strengths and weaknesses, point out something that we could improve. All these like something that you'd hire somebody for, to consult you for, whatever, and they're tasking you to do as part of an interview. I'm not a big fan of that sort of shit. So I'll usually, whenever those questions come up in the interview process, I usually just ignore it and just keep it moving. So when it came to doing the competition, to like, you know, start throwing fucking paper balls into the bin, I was like, nah, I'm good. So I didn't do it, and I'm happy I didn't, because now Tom Sachs is basically saying that even if you enter the competition, there's no guarantee that you can fucking buy the shoes. Fucking wild.
Welcome to Office Hours. The ISRU Film Festival is complete. Official selections are posted on Instagram at NikeCraft. The selected movies represent the essence and values of ISRU. The Palme d'Or of the film festival goes to The Pill by Gregory Turner. Congratulations, Gregory. So many of you have made a remarkable effort throughout camp. Our expectations have been wildly exceeded, and the turnout has been beyond what we dreamed and what we prepared for. We did not make enough shoes for what ISRU ultimately demands.
This is so patronizing. It's like, it feels like, you know, when you get those rejection emails from jobs and they write you like 3 long paragraphs that basically say, yeah, you didn't get picked. This is what this sounds like. The demand was so, like, what? Like, what the fuck is this? How did they not know demand was going to be high? The original MarsYards, right? The Mars, let's see, the MarsYards 1.0s, they go for like $5,000 on StockX. How did you not know there's going to be a big desire for them, right? The original ones, the first ones, they go for $5,000. $5,000. Look at some of the bids on here. Look at some of the sizes. Look. I'll show you. You think I'm lying? Look at this. A size 9. Somebody's selling it on StockX for 40,000. A size 9.5, 8,000. A size 10, 24,000. And they said they didn't. Oh, we didn't know. We didn't know the fucking demand. We were shocked. About shocked. Just make enough shoes for people, bro. Just make enough shoes to satisfy demand. But they don't do that. They create this artificial scarcity to make you desperate enough to queue, desperate enough to fucking open up 17 phones, to refresh, enter this email, leave this comment. It's a nonsense. Like, sneaker industry is now $1 billion industry. The sneaker industry isn't what I got into it when it was, right? When it was just a grassroots, a small niche subculture thing. The sneaker industry is now a big thing. Your grandmothers, your parents probably know what a Yeezy is. They probably know what a limited edition shoe is, right? They know. They're aware of the culture of people queuing or flipping shoes. Most people are aware of this around the world. It's no longer a niche subculture thing. It's a big deal thing. If that's the case that everybody knows, make shoes to fulfill the fucking potential. Or sorry, to fill the demand, satisfy demand. Yes, maybe you can't make shoes for every single person, which I think you can, but at least make enough to satisfy the demand of that small subsect of people who are still hell-bent on wearing the most limited edition shoes. Don't make a small amount on, again, artificial scarcity just because you want to fucking drive up hype. It's fucking annoying. I hate it. I really do fucking hate it, because look at that. Size 8 in the MarsYards 2.0s. Look how much they're selling for. Size 6, $7,000. Size 7.5, $10,000. My size 11, nearly 3,500. UK 10, 3,600. Oh, we didn't know the demand would be so high. Shut up, man. You're lying. Absolute lies.
But we see you, and as a result of your efforts, we're making more shoes. Campers at the very top of the leaderboard will be receiving a link to purchase the MarsYard 3 in the ISRU app today. They will be at your door as soon as shipping allows.
What does that mean? What does that mean? As soon as shipping allows, what does that mean?
Another wave of campers will also receive a link to purchase today. We are making these shoes right now, and you will receive them next year.
I hate how he's saying we're making these shoes right now as if they're like constructing the shoes from the ground up in a small factory somewhere. It's like a cobbler who's painstakingly cutting the last and the soles out by hand. These are made in fucking multi-million dollar fucking factories. They can just press a button and it churns out the exact shoe. Boom. In one fucking go. Why are they acting like they're hand making these shoes? You're not. They're made in a factory. Just make more. Stop lying about this. Oh, we're making all this fucking blurb. Like it's not like a sculpture that he makes in his studio that he's made by hand, right? These are made by fucking machines. Come on, bro. Or robots.
This additional run was not planned, but you made it happen.
Oh,
Keep an eye out for those links in your ISRU app. Congratulations. For campers who do not receive a link in the ISRU app today, that means you are not eligible for MarsYard 3 allocation at this time. But keep watching this space for further instructions. Break your habit, find your ritual.
Honestly. Look at him. He knows he scammed a bunch of people. Somehow he got his Nike deal back, even though if you were black and you did what he did, you probably wouldn't got your Nike deal back, right? He got his Nike deal back because he's friends with Phil Knight. But there's no way. There's no fucking way that he got... What's that here? They can have what? Makeup that have been issued. I just still accepting uploads and... What? Challenges. Okay, cool. I don't know. It's fucking garbage. Absolute fucking bullshit. They're great shoes though. Don't get me wrong. They're fucking great shoes. They really are fucking great shoes. But I think the way the fucking competition was run was a fucking nonsense. Hopefully they have an allocation available to sell on fucking sneakers. Hopefully. Hopefully they'll be available. If not, fire up the ret factories, bro. If not, fire up the ret factories. I'm gonna try my hardest to go down the fucking official way. But if not, I'm gonna holler at my ladies in Shenzhen. If they don't fucking make these easy for people to purchase soon, if we're not giving an easy way to get a hold of these shoes, holler at fucking Shenzhen. Shenzhen, me coming soon. Shenzhen, me coming soon to you. Me coming soon because man need these shoes. I need these shoes desperately, and nothing will stop me from owning them because, you know, there was a time when I had a pair, you know. My pair absolutely got fucked up, by the way. I wore mine to death, which is what you should be doing. You should be wearing your shoes to death. These are mine that exploded, I think, some years ago. No, maybe 4 or 3 years ago. They ended up having some splits along here. But I wore these into the ground, man. I fucking love these so much. I wore these into the ground, bro. I wore these into the ground with every fucking outfit I wore. I think I wore these so much I started wearing to the gym, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I don't know. I fucking love these and I need them again. So I will be trying my best to get a pair of the 3.0s. I'll be trying my best to get a pair of the 3.0s. But yeah, look at the blurb on the Nike site. After a difficult 2 years for Sachs, he's officially unveiled. Difficult 2 years, you know. It's funny, isn't it? Like ASAP Bari he didn't get his Nike deal back, but somehow Tom Sachs did. Somehow Tom Sachs did. Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? Nobody but me. Nobody but me. Anyways, my friends, that has been the Accidental Show episode number 942 or 944. Sorry, 944. Thank you for tuning in. 944 of the show. Smash the like, hit subscribe if you're here for the first time. I appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, man, those of you listening via the podcast app, you'll hear my tune of the day. My tune of the day is going to be by the one and only Rochelle Jordan. Rochelle Jordan, new album coming soon. I think, is it end of September? Is it end of September, her album? When's it coming out? End of September? Her new album, Rochelle Jordan album, is coming out September 26th, called Through the Wall. She dropped a couple of singles already. You know, like, I guess this is more disco-y, R&B type of feel. It's called Sweet Sensation. That'll be my tune today, playing for you guys listening to the audio pod. But if you're not listening to the audio pod, sayonara. It'll just fade to black, and I'll see you guys again very soon for the random show in maybe an hour or so. But for now, take care, people. Take care. Peace. Peace. Peace.